The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
Online entertainment.
NoDQ.com. NoDQ.com.
NoDQ.com.
NoDQ.com.
NoDQ.com.
NoDQ.com.
NoDQ.com.
NoDQ.com.
The people that know more about me know this. I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! Whether it's the NoDQ Galaxy, the Jeff Meacham Network, the AEW crew, Indie Force, or anything related to For the Win Productions, the gears of wrestling keep on turning, and we are here to give our thoughts, previews, and predictions. Good day to you all, and welcome to our panel for this week's Simply Predicting. All right, I gotta give the man credit. He's a brilliant creative genius. Whoever thought my channel needed a dose of personality kicked into it? But I digress. Hello, everybody. Yes, that is right. We are back once again as we kick it into overdrive. What very well could be the last Impact Wrestling Impact Plus monthly special of the year 2022. And you know we are about to go through. As always, I am the Simple Man, and my name is Noah Foster. With me, as always, is Jerry 1000 Names. Tonight, the new normal, Jerry Overdrive. Before we begin, James Hebert of FTW Productions, bravo, you are bloody brilliant. Good to see you in the chat, and figure for those that are watching also live, please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Before we begin, Jerry, how are you? Good to see you again.
That was a really cool intro. It makes actually make me watch this video again.
Again, whoever thought my simple YouTube channel would require personality and personalized branding, as I'll from now on add the G's on the end of it. Again, James, thank you. But besides that, how you feeling tonight about Impact Wrestling's monthly plus special being presented tonight as we go into Overdrive? And folks, again, this will be on YouTube exclusively for Impact Plus Ultimate Insiders, or you can get on the Fight TV app for $10. And it starts tonight with a countdown, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How you feeling about the show, Jerry?
I think it's an awesome card, and I'm kind of mad that I'm not off work tonight because I live like an hour and a half away from where they're holding it.
I'm about to say, I'm surprised you're not going to it.
I haven't gotten to go to any of the Impact shows because it's usually falling on a night where I have to work. But maybe this next year I'll be able to plan better. I'm also going to try to go to like the AEW event that hits Lexington next year.
Right.
So I'm going to try and get to more wrestling shows. I've gotten really out of the habit of going to wrestling shows. Mostly been concerts and just hanging out with my daughter. So it's going to be one of those situations where I'll hopefully start to get to go to more of them because this card looks amazing. I didn't really get much of a chance to look at it like as time progressed, but then like I checked it out today before I took my nap, and I was like, okay, this looks really special. So I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, every month it seems these Friday night Impact Plus specials, they take the night, it seems, literally, not just Thursday nights, because they do showcase a good dose of variety and some interesting storytelling. We got some bangers, no doubt. And again, folks, your predictions matter. The link's in the description down below. Get your predictions in for Impact Wrestling Overdrive. I gave you until the start, till countdown tonight. Shout out to so far the 23 of you that have been putting in your predictions, including but not limited to Alistair, Cindy, Kyle, Chris, my brother from Church Paul Mead, JJ of Cast 18 Studios, Mikey, Bacon Space, I love that name, Rocco, ECW Fan 5, Mark, Ashley, Chumbawamba, among some of the others too. As again, folks, this very well could be the last event with, I believe, next month being a throwback, the last event of this year's inaugural Impact really from beginning to end, Predictions League. And it's still anybody's game. It's very close. I lead by 1 point, but Kyle and Scott, doggone you, you're both right behind me. And Jerry, you're within like the top like 10 or 12, man. You've done incredible this time.
Isn't that crazy? Either
Impact Wrestling, Jerry Strength.
either Impact really has like some great writing, or they're just starting to talk to me, and I don't know what's going on. But yeah, like I'm doing so much better in this league.
Yeah, you are. And again, at the end of the day, folks, I just hope you all have fun. That's all I care about.
I think I'm pretty much at the bottom of the no DQ predictions league, except for like people that joined in at the last minute. So I guess a W is a W, but let's get on with this.
All right, and you literally took the words out of my mouth. Enough ice breaking. And again, folks, like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Let your predictions and thoughts be known in the chat, too. I have some of the proportions here. So let's get right into it. So again, tonight we start off with the Countdown to Overdrive. That will be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for free on YouTube for everybody, courtesy of Impact Wrestling's YouTube channel. And yes, me, maybe James Hebert, but the Jeff Meacham, Multiverse Media, will be bringing you live play-by-play coverage and reactions for the entire Tonight Show, too. So stay tuned. So the first match they announced for looks like the Countdown is going to be really a very wild match that could literally be the decider of this year's league. Go figure. It's a six-pack challenge. Oh, excuse me. Botch. Six-way dance. That's how tired I am, folks. Almost went to bed. Six-way dance between what you really could consider a depth of your X division. We have Kenny, K-I-N-G, King, versus Uya Yamera, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Bohemia Gunjer, Toledo's own, represent Jason Hotch, the former X Division champion, Speedball Mike Bailey, and we'll see if he can handle this, former X Division champion in his own right, Rich Swann. So let's go ahead and think about this match here for a little bit, shall we? Kenny King and Speedball Mike Bailey, they've been at each other's crosshairs since they both lost out, respectively, on the X Division tournament that we will talk about later. Uya Mera, he's been making a name for himself in the Impact scene, most recently beating Andrew Everett on BTI just literally yesterday. And then you have Rich Swann, who garnered some momentum last night, beating Laredo Kid in a nice little exhibition here. Jason Hotch, I don't know if he believes in Joe Hendry, but Joe Hendry kicked his ass a couple weeks ago. He might be looking to use this as a springboard. But Speedball Mike Bailey, he's the guy that knows how to take advantage of multi-person matches. And it's a no, maybe I'll be calling Overdrive, you know. Oh, okay. There you go. So that being said, I kind of want to go with Speedball here just because of his track record. But I think about this could literally be setting up somebody for a future X Division title shot, maybe based on who becomes X Division champion tonight. So I'm going with Speedball here, but I'm kind of regretting it because I do think he and Kenny King are going to be at each other's crosshairs. I honestly want to go wild card and say Uya Mera, but I think that's way far out there. But Kunja with a new theme, he could be the sleeper here. So I know I've babbled on a few names, but I think just because the X Division is about surprises, no limits, there are stories with a few participants here, and Uya is he on excursion in Impact or is this a short stint? Right now, Gunther, he's trying to put some stock into himself, so I'm going to go with Gunther against the win here, actually, and surprises. Maybe Gargoyle Spears, Jason Hotch. What's your thoughts on this six-pack challenge, Jarek? Who you got?
Well, my pick's automatically Kenny King. The dude's like been. I'm not going to say he's been a bit of a hot streak, so I'm going to go with him because the dude's had a massive chip on his shoulder for like years. You gotta figure he was like he was like one of the runners up on like Tough Enough 2. That's like what roughly it feels like 20 years ago. And he like so since then he's been trying to prove himself, getting better and better as time goes on. Like he very much is the new version of Shelton Benjamin. He's gonna be that guy that keeps on getting almost to the top, but always has that glass ceiling over him. But at the same time, I like the idea of him winning the X Division belt somehow. Maybe even start a new faction because he's a great tag team technician. I love him and Rhett
Titus. Yes.
Yeah. Him and Rhett Titus in the All Night Express.
Right.
They're great, but I see him also as an opportunist. So in the six-pack challenge like this, where anybody can hit a major move, they get rolled up all of a sudden, like hand trunk full of tights, grab on the rope, whatever. He'll make this happen. Get the win.
All right. Well, I like the fact that we are various here, and it looks like the Impact faithful, part of the league, are all over the place. Majority actually did go with Speedball Mike Bailey. Second up is Rich Swann, and then third with 13% is actually Kenny King. So a few people are with you.
Right there in the middle.
And someone actually picked Jason Hodge, Uya, and Bakunder right now. They have 0. So again, I might just be going wild card here, but again, it is a 6-pack challenge, so anything could happen, especially during the countdown. And again, I feel like Speedball and Kenny King are going to try and kick each other's head off outside the ring. So we'll see. But this should be a fun way to welcome people into the night's show, to say the least. Now we go into a match that could determine the next number 1 contenders for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. And this one is definitely going to be interesting considering both these teams' track record and history. And I'm still kind of torn. So, Jared, you'll kick this one off as we have the Motor Machine Guns, the new NJPW Strong Tag Team Champions, taking on Bullet Club for life. Ace Austin and Chris Bay. Happy Friday, everybody. And also, for those that don't know, Chris Bay and Ace Austin will be involved in the Best of Super Juniors Tag League that starts immediately following this weekend. So maybe they're looking for tag straps across 2 different realms, per se. But Jared, who do you have in this tag team match? Especially after what happened last night.
This is tough because you and I were actually discussing the prospect of this match on the last prediction video that we did.
Exactly.
Like you have the Motor City Machine Guns, who are honestly probably one of my favorite tag teams ever. Alex Shelley's been like in my top 5 wrestlers for quite a while now, and Chris Sabin is like one of the most clutch people on the planet. You put him in a match, and he's gonna either carry it or he's gonna dominate it. Either one is just fantastic. And then Ace Austin and Chris Bay, they've just gelled into like this incredible team after like feuding for so long. All it took was like, for them to be put together in the Bullet Club, and all of a sudden, people were like, "These two make sense together." They're both very egotistical. They're both very flashy, but they're both very, very, very good. So what I like about this match is the Motor City Machine Guns can lose it, but not really lose anything in the process. Like it'll just propel Ace Austin and Chris Bay more into a tag team picture. Plus, it elevates them for the tournament that they're going to be in. So it makes them look like more of a threat. This is not, this is part of the pre-show, correct? Or is this?
Yeah, this is the countdown.
So yeah, they're not doing anything on the pay-per-view itself. So if they actually pull off the victory, that would be awesome for the people in attendance. They're like, oh my God, we just saw something really special here. Like that's what that match is going to be regardless. But if they see like the Motor City Machine Guns get beaten by the Bullet Club, and it's a paradigm shift, so to speak. And I like the idea of that happening, and then that actually prolongs the feud a little bit more. So I'm actually going to go with Bullet Club on this one, Ace Austin and Chris Bay.
Well, considering they're honestly feel like the newest team on the block, let alone the Impact division, and they got a big win in a 4-way tag team dance last night against Aussie Open and the Motor City Machine Guns and Shira and Singh. I do feel like momentum right now is in their favor, and with them being a part of this juniors tag league as well, they could go after maybe United Empires, TJP, and Francisco Akira for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship potentially at Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, it seems like all the momentum right now should be in Bullet Club's favor. Again, the Motor City Machine Guns, they are the established influential team. They are the home base of Impact Wrestling. But I know they also confronted Heath and Rhino regarding becoming, once again, Impact World Tag Team Champions. And that was before Heath and Rhino beat the OGK. And Motor City Machine Guns fell short against the OGK. But right now, I feel that Bullet Club, particularly these two, who, let's be honest here, as far as Impact goes, they have not had the time to really shine or the opportunities to really take hold of. And this will be the first of them finally getting one. And I feel it's long overdue for both, particularly Chris Bay. I can't believe how much Chris Bay has not been involved in the main stakes of Impact Wrestling, particularly the X Division. So I'm with you, actually. I'm going with Bullet Club on this as well, and it's going to be too sweet. And it's
like with him, it's like he's pretty much like the Swerve Strickland of this like company.
Pretty much.
He's got all the charisma, he's got all the talent and everything. He just needs to get a belt put on him to get eyes on him. And
exactly.
Or even then, just a big enough victory and a victory against these two, that'd be too sweet.
Simple as that. And it's almost 50-50 actually. 43% believe in Bullet Club. The majority do go with Impact home base, Bush Machine Gun. So, again, this is one of those matches that could go either way. And when you look at this card, that's kind of the story of several of these tonight. And that's why it's so fun and polarizing. And, folks, that was just the countdown. Now we go into the actual pay-per-view, premium live event, Lumpy Spell, whatever the hell you want to call it.
It's kind of weird that people say that you say home base, because theoretically all these guys have been under Impact umbrella for about as long as, like, you know, as anybody could be. Like Chris
That's
Sabin.
True. That's true.
Chris Sabin has been like in and out of the company, I think, longer than anybody else.
Yeah,
So,
all he needs is one shot.
and Alex Shelley, same with him. So, but Chris Bay and Ace Austin are kind of like the new guard. After Sabin and Shelley went away, that's when Chris Bay and Ace Austin became almost like a variant of them. They were like at the forefront of the X division, just like Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley were. They just like had these amazing matches, amazing feuds, but nothing that propelled them to the point
to that top level, because neither of them have been Impact World Champion. Chris Sabin, have actually been the Impact World Champion. Alex Shelley had his chance at the title and lost against Josh Alexander, what's got to be a sleeper match for the year.
Ace Austin and Chris Bay both had their shots at the Impact Championship, but didn't make it. So I like the idea of them at least get like some sort of tag goal or something put onto them, and then after that, it's off to the races for them.
That's a fair point. And honestly, as you talk about generation, there's two great Impact past generation counts right there. And I feel Mr. Impact Craig here definitely has some fair point to make here. And Sean, I do see your comment. We're not at that match yet, but I definitely will put it up when we get there. Let's go ahead and get into the main show. Again, folks, tonight it is Impact Overdrive, Impact Plus exclusive on YouTube for Ultimate Insiders, $10, or get it on the Fight TV app for $10 as well. Starts tonight, 8 p.m. Standard Time. Stay tuned for the Jet Beach Network Multiverse Media for your live play-by-play coverage and reactions as well with me, JJ James, and who knows who else might show up in or out of the screen and in the chat too. Let's go ahead and get right into the figure of this main thing. And when it comes to these Impact Plus specials, what's more fitting to open these shows than the X Division as we crown a brand new X Division champion? As you know, folks, Kazarian exercised option C and will be in the main event. But also tonight, we will crown a new X Division champion. Here is what the tournament brackets look like, and we have finally come down to our finals. And it will be Black Taurus versus former X Division champion himself. I'm, of course, talking about Trey Miguel. It is Black Taurus versus Trey Miguel. Now, I've seen Black Taurus go against Josh Alexander for the X Division Championship last year at Homecoming. He came this close. Many people believe that Black Taurus is an uncrowned X Division champion, while Trey Miguel, he believes is the most important title in the company, wants to look to be a 3-time X Division champion. And honestly, between him and Speedball 2, that could have gone either way, so there's still food for thought there. Now, usually I'm biased, and I do go with usually my hometown boy here. But again, Black Taurus, this could be his night. But I also think about Jake Something and how close he came as well. He never got the belt. I think that youth and experience is going to get over here because, again, Trey Miguel, he overcame Steve freaking Macklin. Trey Miguel can overcome this. No offense to Black Taurus, but Trey Miguel right now, he just seems like X Division worthy still as my champion and more hungry. Black Taurus of Decay. Decay is a mainstay of Impact Wrestling, but Black Taurus, the X Division title, can that fit? I mean, yeah, he's had, work at Lucha Libre and AAA, but for me, I feel like Trey Miguel, he wants to be back on top in the X Division. It's not like he's going to New Japan. It's not like he's really doing anything else besides training people here in Toledo. I'm going with my hometown boy. I think Trey gets the win and the title back. Because right now, Black Taurus, he feels like in the Jake Something situation with me. A name you know, incredible talent, incredible in-ring performer, but necessarily never gets the gold. But kind of doesn't need to, especially since he has a family with Decay. I'm going to say that Trey becomes, once again, X Division champ. What do you say, Jerry?
I say Taurus.
Really?
Yeah. Are we sleeping on the fact that Abyss was X Division champion for quite some time?
Well, considering the circumstances when that happened, do we have to really count that? Not I'm saying Black Taurus is the Biz. I mean, I think he's 10 times better than Abyss, especially in-ring athletically. The guy moves like a freaking cruiserweight.
Yeah. So I like the idea of almost like a changing of the guard and or just to shake things up even a little bit. Even if it's like a short title reign, it at least puts the belt on him for a little while. And he's had standout performances, like you mentioned, like nonstop, but just hasn't reached that same level. Just like where we were talking about the Bullet Club with Ace Austin and Chris Bay. I think it's time. I think that if they're going to propel Black Taurus in any way, he's got to have the X Division belt on him. Like, you know, even if it means going for like some sort of like world title shot after a little bit, that's at least a good stepping stone, and gets the belt put on him for a little bit. That, and it makes him more of like you said, he's not exactly what you think of for being an X Division champion, which will only make the X Division competitors step up even harder to him, which makes for even greater matches, different techniques and ways of taking him out or trying to take him down. It'd be beautiful. I think it'd be a perfect fit for the X Division Championship right now. So I think Taurus is going to be my pick for this one.
I can respect that. Again, also Trey's back's not in order. Black Taurus might literally try an Argentine break it. Again, I saw this man come this close against Josh Alexander live. This close.
And yeah, I figure like something in my head just clicked too. Like they're going to be announcing who this Scripps guy is in NXT 2.0, and it wouldn't shock me if it's Trey Miguel.
Not my NXT, but that's a different story.
I know it's not, but like a reunion with him and Wesley would actually be pretty great.
That I will not argue with. That is fair. All right, let's see here. 70% went with Trey Miguel, while 29% went with Black Taurus, so you are not alone. We will see if the X Division does fall into decay. And honestly, now that I think about it, Crazy Steve might come into play, and people think that he should be X Division champion, and he's part legally blind, and some people call him an uncrowned champ. So again, the X Division, there are no limits to what could happen and who can hold.
And that would actually play a little bit into it as well, because then you have Black Taurus having the belt, and you know Crazy Steve actually wanting the belt, and then you have almost like this Gollum type thing, guy following him.
Precious.
Exactly.
The precious. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure Rosemary does not think the same thing about these titles, but she does cover them for the Shadow, or she would say, we must preserve these, because she is not of this reality. But let's go ahead and talk about this next match, because I just hope that Jessica shows up sober. Otherwise, there's going to be a whole different level of sick here tonight, and I may not like it. As the Knockouts World Tag Team Championships are on the line, the Death Dolls, La Muera Loca, Taya Valkyrie with Rosemary, and Jessica. And I hope for the sake of her, she has been sober today. They defend the gold against Tasha Steelz and the Cannibal, Savannah Evans. Let's go ahead and break down how this came to be. After Savannah Evans was hungry for some meaner competition, Jessica decided to challenge the Cannibal because she's sick, and lost, and has basically fallen into depression, shades of, well, after somebody busts in Las Vegas, go out drinking and lose themselves. And we were supposed to see Jessica and Tasha Steelz go one-on-one. A bit of a momentum builder maybe for either side, maybe a bit of encouragement to Jessica. She didn't show up. So Taya Valkyrie took her place. Taya got the better of Tasha, but Tasha and Savannah got the better of the Death Dolls for a moment. So Jessica showed up off the strip. Okay, that's a dark thought. Came back into play. I don't want to know what happened. Again, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Came back into play, took both of them down, and the trio did stand tall, embracing. Rosemary still awkwardly like, okay, why is this a thing? With the titles. With how many times the Knockout Tag Team Championships have changed this year? Damn it! I'm kind of torn on this match again. And Tasha is a former Knockouts Tag Team Champion. Savannah Evans, unbelievably, has not had a piece of gold yet in Impact Wrestling. How about that? So, with that being said, I do think about this. Jessica right now is still going through a bit of character identity. And if she loses, there'll probably be more drinking. If she wins, there'll probably be more drinking, but at least it'll probably be under the chaperone of Taya Valkyrie. And I do wonder how Rosemary feels and trusts in this duo to carry it out. I also wonder, actually, if they exercise the free foot rule and Rosemary maybe puts herself into the fold. Is Rosemary actually medically cleared? But I think I've seen these tag titles change enough, and I'm still shocked with having that Bound for Glory with Vex. Deon Frost ain't even on this card. What the hell? I'm going to say that for once, the Knockout Tag Team Champions retain, and a majority actually agree with me, 91%. So, Jerry, do you think the Campbell is going to finally have some gold, or do you think that Death Dolls will actually hold on to these straps.
The Death Doll storyline is a lot better if they keep the belts on them for right now. So I'm gonna go with the Death Dolls, and they're gonna be in Louisville. That's very close to pretty much Maker's Mark and Jim Beam and everywhere else. So it's like basically it wouldn't shock me if she rolls out with a shopping cart from Liquor Barn full of just random boozes from around here. But yeah, like I see, it's gonna take a little while for them to drop the titles, and the drinking and the partying will actually be the reason why it ends up happening. But for right now, they need to go ahead and keep the straps on to keep the storyline going. So I say the Death Dolls keep the belts.
I feel like that Savannah Evans and Jessica are going to renew hostilities in a singles match following this too. I don't think the Cannibal had enough on her plate. She still wants more.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. And again, like I said, 92% believe in the Death Dolls. I guess some people want some of that flavor once again to have that gold. And to Tasha's Fiend credit, she will do whatever it takes. So stranger things have happened. We'll see. All right. Well, speaking of stranger things, who would have thought you would see these two back in the fall as tag team champions? I'm just going to go along with the tag team gold picture as Heath and Rhino fulfill a promise and now look to hold up as the leaders of the tag team division. They defend the gold against, well, you guessed it, the major players, Zack Ryder and the previous digital media champion, had to get the title right there, the most professional wrestler, professional in quotes, Brian Myers. By the way, I believe in Joe Hendry. There, I said it. Okay, pretty self-explanatory story here. The major players, they came back together and they set their intentions on tag team gold, and they've been messing with Heath and Rhino. But Heath and Rhino got the better of the two, costing Brian Myers and Cardona shenanigans against Joe Hendry. And now we have a new digital media champion. Can't wait to see what he does to motivate Impact Wrestling now with this title. With suspension of disbelief about Chelsea Green going back home to the WWE, but Matt Cardona not wanting to go back to being Zack Ryder, it wouldn't be the first time a couple do things in separate places. I mean, Mia Yim, she's back in WWE. Keith Lee, he's still in AEW. But again, tag team titles, how many times do they need to change hands? And Heath and Rhino right now, it looks like they fought a long time to finally have these back. I feel that they deserve a chance to show us what they can do. I'm going to say that they retain. I feel like Matt Cardona and Brian Myers might not be around longer in Impact Wrestling, if I'm honest with you. But ironically, this match is almost split down the middle. 56% believe the chance to retain. 44% believe the major players will have the gold. And we also know that Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, they have been tag champs before, Raw tag champs, in WWE, winning on WrestleMania 35 kickoff, if that meant anything. Jerry Overdrive, what do you think about this match? This is a little odd for me, to say the least. And keep in mind, whoever wins this will face either the Motor City Machine Guns or, our pick from earlier, Chris Bay and Ace Austin.
I think the egos are going to come into play a lot here. Rhino and Heath Slater can set their egos aside. Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, they're a great tag team. I saw them back in OVW house shows, back when they were the Major Brothers and had the blonde hair, and right before they got called up to be the Edgeheads. So I've seen them come a long way and do great work separately. I think it took them, the Major Brothers, or them being separated after a while for them to actually find their identity and pave a way for themselves. Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona has made a lot more waves than Brian Myers, but Brian Myers had a hand. Him and Pat Buck have had a hand in training some of our best wrestlers we have actually out now through their wrestling training facility. So I think in the long run, you have to think Heath Slater and Rhino aren't going to fight over who gets the win and who gets the glory. Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, they'll fight over who actually wins the match. And that can easily lead to another feud. It could also lead to them leaving the company. It can lead to a whole bunch of things. But I think what it's ultimately going to lead to tonight is going to be Heath Slater and Rhino keeping the belts.
Okay, then. Well, there you have it, folks. There's our simple thoughts on that. Again, thank you so far for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Get your predictions in. The link to the form is in the description down below, including our second half, which we'll be talking about later, too. We are currently discussing Impact Wrestling Overdrive. Let's keep running down this card. We're talking about people that are going to hold gold, people that might maintain gold. Well, one thing that we know for sure when we talk about Savannah Evans is going to eat, someone's going to eat wood. And it's going to be one of these two scumbags. Do you know who he is? His name is Moose, and he's facing Bully Ray. In a tables match of all freaking things. What the hell are you thinking? All right. Well, this is pretty self-explanatory, Jerry. So I'm going to let you go ahead and take away thoughts talk about this one here. Do you see Moose beating Bully Ray in the match that he and Team 3D made famous?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I actually see Moose winning this match. He's done a lot for the company by taking a lot of pinfalls like recently. And I think if he got to beat an ECW/Impact legend at his own game for at least one night, especially if it's going to be the last pay-per-view for the year or last premium live event, I think Moose has owned this. I think it's going to be a very physical match. I think it's going to be a great match. I think Moose is going to somehow find a way of cheating it to actually win it, but he's going to put Bully Ray through a table. Or even if a referee gets knocked out and all of a sudden, Moose breaks the table.
He fixed it. He freaking fixed it.
Yeah. Bully Ray can, easily go through, Moose can easily go through a table. The referee's not up. Bully Ray gets knocked out again, and then, put where the table's already destroyed at. Referee gets woken up. Moose wins the match.
Well, so far we've seen Steve Macklin driven through a table by Bully Ray and Josh Alexander. We also saw Moose spear Bully Ray into a table, and Bully Ray, who's trying to do the right thing finally in his career, who also still has that Call Your Shot trophy for the Impact World Championship. Clearly, Bully Ray's the face here. Moose is the villain, but you're talking about two people that will do whatever it means possible. And in a tables match, there are no rules. But something tells me that Moose is going to hit Bully Ray where it hurts. We're going to get that Bully Ray catchphrase, "Oh, my balls!" And I still feel like Bully Ray is going to fulfill his promise to put Moose through a table. And I think Bully Ray is actually going to get this win here. Bully Ray actually hasn't had much singles action since being a part of Impact Wrestling. Since his return, it's been tag team matches or outside type, chaperoning, guiding, for example, Ace and Bay to get the win at one point over Moose. I mean, Ace Austin beat Moose with the help of Bully Ray. That's really how this all really kicked off. Why Moose says he idolizes Bully Ray because, again, I'm a scumbag too. I've done most dastardly things possible, put myself at the top. If Bully Ray is truly going to show us that he is trying to do the right thing, the constant question asked, can you trust Bully Ray each week, Josh Alexander? And he kind of needs to win this match here. And with the fact that it's a tables match, it protects him even being dastardly. It makes me wonder if he might go the dark road to put Moose for a table. But I think Bully Ray gets the win here, honestly.
But I'm saying this also, with my wave, Moose actually goes through a table, referee doesn't see it, and then Bully Ray gets put into that spot and gets cheated out of this match. He's gonna wonder what it's even worth anymore. It's like great. Is that what I'm gonna have to do to get any kind of respect? Is that how I'm gonna have to get any wins here? Am I have to go back to the way things used to be? Probably will. And then if that's the case, that can easily become a cash-in opportunity against the champion, whoever it may be at the end of that night. So, it could be an instant heel turn for him just to get the championship back on it.
All right, fair point. But you're in the minority right now. 72% believe that Bully Ray is going to win. 28% believe in Moose. But again, in Impact Wrestling, they are anything but freaking predictable. More unpredictable than AEW, and that says a whole lot. And this is a tables match. It can go either way. I also wonder if Steve Macklin might come back in for revenge despite the fallout of the previous alliance with him and Moose. And we got to consider the Steve Macklin factor with this whole thing. Because, again, if it wasn't for Bully Ray, Steve Macklin should have freaking won the thing at Bound for Glory. There's no doubt in my mind about that. He is still an untested, uncrowned Impact World Champion and has yet to get the chance for it. Bobby Fish literally asked for it in a promo and he got the chance the same damn night. What the hell? I'm just saying.
It's okay, though. It's all back. It's all right.
I'm fine. I'm just saying Steve
Breathe.
Macklin deserves better. Mayhem for all. Don't give me tranquilo. This isn't New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Breathe.
I'm fine. Look. Let me talk to you, all right? I'm not Eli Drake. I'm also not wild, but she's wild, and she's looking to end a friend and a legend's career as Mickie James bets it on herself once again in her last rodeo. Hardcore Country, Mickie James defends her career against Taylor Wilde. Now, we all know the history of Taylor Wilde and Mickie James when it comes to Impact Wrestling. These two have faced each other before in the ring. They're both previous Knockouts champions. And Taylor Wilde recently came back to Impact Wrestling. We've seen Taylor Wilde, Mickie James, and Jordan Grace come together as a great trio against Vex and Jill Shaw in victory, preventing Mickie James from being pinned in that scenario by all three women. And most recently, Mickie James finally got the monkey off her back that started this whole thing, Chelsea Green, in a great TV match with the help of keeping Deonna Purrazzo out of the way, Taylor Wilde, making sure that she won that match on her own merit because Taylor Wilde says she wants to be the one to end Mickie James' career. Well, Mickie James, last rodeo, there are no friends. There is only opponents. How many can you actually go through? How tall is this Mortal Kombat tower before you hit game over without it continue? That's really what this comes down to. Can she make it to Shao Kahn, the Knockouts Championship, and actually win it? Well, she first has to get through this. Jerry, your thoughts on this match?
Mickie James isn't going to lose.
I don't think Mickie James is losing. I can't see Mickie James losing right now.
No.
She's already survived Mia Yim. She survived Chelsea Green. She technically survived Deonna Purrazzo. She survived Jill Shaw. Jill Shaw, by the way, so much damn promise potential as a future Knockouts champion. My gosh, what a match Jordan Grace last week. And she's also faced some local talent, of course, from Texas and Las Vegas, respectively. She still has to go through Masha, Deonna, Killer Keller, before getting to the Knockouts champion, among others, Jessica, Taya Valkyrie, Rosemary. There's too much left for this last rodeo to stop here. Taylor Wilde might actually show something a little different that we haven't seen out of her in a while. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that everybody should believe that Mickie James is going to keep going through this rodeo. Ain't time to put away the boots yet.
And you said it best yourself. I think it's going to be probably Killer Kelly that is the one that ends up stopping it and putting her away. And that's going to propel her finally into that knockout championship.
Yes,
so
yes. If Report Card Radio is still in the chat, he and I both know how much we want to see the true killer of professional wrestling make it to the top of the Impact Knockouts division.
I loved her so much in NXT UK. She got so underutilized, so it's fine.
Don't remind me.
It is so great to actually see her be able to do something great here.
Damn right it is.
Anytime she's on screen, it's almost, it's just so charismatic and she's so violent and so wonderful, and I love it.
There's an aura around her, and I'm not just talking about that red light.
Yep.
You're damn right I know this, but I digress. So, yeah, we're all going with Hardcore Country, and, well, I guess somebody had to be brave, or maybe they misclicked. Maybe it's a botch. 8% Taylor Wilde, 92% Mickie James.
Yep.
All right, well, that takes care of the easiest match of the night. Now, Jerry, damn it, why'd you have to be right at Bound for Glory? Although I'm kind of glad you were right, because now I get to see Masha smash again, and this time try to be the last one standing. Will we see the Juggernaut finally broken before Masha Slamovic? The Impact Knockouts World Championship, respect the world, is on the line. It is round 2 as Jordan Grace, who has now been champion for over 150 days, defends the gold against Masha Slamovic in a last knockout standing match. Let's fucking go, okay? These two are going to beat the holy crap out of each other. You thought the ridiculous Avalanche Grace driver was overkill? This is overdrive. And you thought Masha was driven before? She's driven more than ever. I mean, what did she told you about what can we expect? Death. I'm not Russian, so I can't say it in Russia. Sorry. So, yeah, simply put, we saw these two finally go one-on-one at Bound for Glory in what was probably match of the night. And literally, Jordan Grace not only retained her championship, she broke Masha's undefeated streak. but she got smashed up in the process that Jordan Grace wasn't involved in Impact for at least a couple of weeks. Since then, Jordan Grace has successfully defended this title against the likes of, particularly most recently, Michelle Shaw. Great physical TV match. The Juggernaut keeps rolling on. But as we saw most recently, Masha came back for revenge and snowplowed her on the stage on a field of chairs. And simply put, Jordan Grace respects Masha. All she had to do was ask, but this is the way you want to do it? Then last knockouts standing. This is going to come down to who has the stronger will and probably the more unbreakable spine. Jerry, who do you got? Do you still with the Juggernaut or is it Masha's time?
It is Masha time. I thoroughly believe that it's like her time to actually win the title. Jordan Grace, great champion, great wrestler in general. She mixed it up on either side, like, and that's always cool to see. Like, with her run as like the digital media champion and everything else.
She's done everything in that company.
She really has. I think basically what they're going to make her almost like the Tess Blanchard that, what Tess Blanchard could have been in the long run, but she ended up like, botching the whole thing. So I like the idea of her being almost like the second coming of that and actually be able to do it right. Very well could end up becoming the Impact champion or world champion after a little bit. But in order for that to happen, she needs to eventually drop that belt. And Masha is just like this unstoppable Russian juggernaut at this point. And
she's Umbasink Bar. Sorry, Ela.
And it'd be really cool to see her actually win this match. And then, like, maybe her and Jordan Grace right back after a little while, but give it a little bit of time to breathe. Let her have a couple defenses against other people, just, and then just bring it back after a little while. Kind of like Gargano and Ciampa. You didn't want it like you didn't want it to keep on going, like over and over again. You wanted it to be spaced out a little bit. You like the idea of it like cooling down a little bit, and all of a sudden, like they just show back up. It's on automatically. It's on again. So I like the idea of like Jordan Grace dropping the belt, especially a super violent match like this one's going to be. So it gives her time to actually, rest up, just take a little bit of time to herself if she wanted to, and then like let Masha take the spotlight for just a little while.
Yeah, I feel like Jordan Grace is one that takes literally no days off, but I feel like her body definitely would want a day off or two. But again, when you're the Juggernaut, you don't want to waver or show any weakness. In a last knockout standing match, you're going to truly see how far your body can go, because if you can't answer the ref's count of 10, it's over. Is this going to be better than NXT Last Woman Standing match? This week's, yes. Asuka, Nikki Cross, that's a high bar to surpass. But that was on television. So you put that in perspective the way you wish. Either way, I cannot wait for this. And hello, Nathan. And I'm with you. Again, I thought Bound for Glory was going to be her night. And again, she survived the normal Grace Driver. It took an avalanche Grace Driver to put down Masha, all right? Masha Slamovic, along with Speedball Mike Bailey, have been two of the most active, hardworking, physically taxed and tested wrestlers this year in the industry. And Masha Slamovic, in my opinion, she deserves this, and I feel that's definitely proven herself enough to show that she can be the Knockouts World Champion. And if they somehow build this to Masha versus Killer Kelly, oh, let's freaking go. I will try and be there live. Let's see here. A majority do believe, though, that Jordan Grace still will retain. 40%, though, do go with Masha. I mean, at this point, if Masha loses when you up the ante to Jordan Grace again, the Masha's pretty much at the back of the line at this point. It almost makes her look normal. At this point, she's so furious, she is fighting on pure adrenaline, anger, fury, and rage. It's going to take her smashing to another level. Both women are going to beat the dance out of each other, and that's what you got to love in a last knockout standing match, because you literally want to make sure your opponent is so prone they cannot get up on their own 2 feet. I think Masha's going to do that. And she hasn't used submissions. She's probably going to continually snowplow Jordan Grace for all we know. Maybe for the announce table.
Yep. I think it boils down to the fact also that we don't really have many title changes going on this show. And as much as this wouldn't be a shock, it'll still feel like a shock once Jordan Grace doesn't get up for the 10 count.
Exactly.
So we need that shock factor. We need something to happen. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in this match.
Yeah, it could be one of those split-second things, because I do not see either one of these two going down willingly for the other to stay down for a 10. I see both literally clawing their way back up. and maybe a split-second type decision, because that would still show how strong both of these incredible athletes are. Again, we're looking at two of the strongest athletes in the entire Knockouts division.
I pretty much see a pile of chairs, Jordan Grace on laying on top of them, and like Masha being held up more or less being held up by a guardrail, barely even on her feet, but on her feet enough that the ref counts as her still standing up.
I feel like they're going to be busted wide open too before this night's over.
Oh yeah, there will be
Lord Almighty! All right. Well, we talked a lot about all the stuff here tonight. Sean has one more comment here, going along maybe what you were saying, Jerry. But that depends on who leaves with the Impact World Championship. Because for one, a family will have the sweet taste of victory. The other, the agonizing defeat. But I have to ask, how much longer can the 100% Full Metal Rebel himself go without winning the big one? Is it his time? As Josh Alexander defends the Impact World Championship against, you guessed it, former multiple-time X Division champion, five-time X Division champion, Frankie Kazarian. I am so damn torn on this match. You have no freaking idea. Again, Frankie Kazarian is one of those guys that always bets on himself. He's been at this for over 20 years, and he's never, ever won the big one. Yes, he's won multiple tag team accolades. Yes, he's won the X Division title. He's won other championships across his illustrious career, he and Tracy respectively. You can say the same thing about Jade and Josh. Josh has become this generation's Iron Man, though, on Impact Wrestling. And we saw the emotional turmoil he went through this last year alone just to finally become Impact World Champion, longer than a cup of coffee. For me, though, I feel like Frank Kazarian, why he is still signed banner-wise to AEW, he deserves to be the face of Impact Wrestling before he hangs up the boots. It feels like, to me, he needs this, but I don't want to take anything away from Josh Alexander. He has been a tremendous fighting champion. But again, I do wonder where you go from here. With Bully Ray calling his shot still yet to be known. Steve Macklin yet to be tested to challenge for the Impact World Championship. And maybe Sean Garner has a bit of truth to what he says regarding, okay, Jordan Grace, maybe she can go after the Impact World Championship. It may not even win it, but maybe challenge for it. Jay, I'm just going to leave your opening. I always leave the main event to you as far as initial predictions go, but I will tell you this much. A majority believe that Josh Alexander will retain. What say you?
Well, I guess it's all according to, what the rule is with that chip. Is it pretty much like a Money in the Bank kind of thing where you cash in any time, or does he have to call it and then be the next pay-per-view?
Well, Moose basically proved what that means. You could call it any time when your family's in the ring, and literally the match can be made right there, and that's how he took it from Josh Alexander at last year's Bound for Glory against Christian Cage. But Bully Ray has said, and I quote, "When I call my shot, I will do it right to your face." So anytime you wish.
All right. So it's with that said, and since I know I'm not going to win the league because I'm still about 15 down, I'm gonna let the Jerry gear kick in. I'm gonna let Kazarian win the belt. And I'm gonna have Bully Ray cash in on him right after at the end of that match.
Oh man,
he
promised all over again.
He promised, like Josh Alexander, that he would do it to his face.
True.
Not Kazarian's.
True.
So that's shades of old Bully Ray. That is aces and eights Bully Ray behavior right there.
All right.
And if he loses that match to Moose earlier, and basically he doesn't even have to wrestle it hard. Kind of like how Seth Rollins lost to Randy Orton that night, but then turned around and won the belt.
Cash in a century. That's fair.
Yeah. So you have the feel for that same kind of emotion and whatnot. Frankie Kazarian going to the top rope, holding up the Impact title, turns around into a bully bomb and gets pinned and loses the title. Just like that. He wins the belt, he loses the belt just as quickly. And that puts Bully as champion. Josh Alexander still is a number one contender for the belt since he had just theoretically lost it. But it also leads to any other possible matches along the way. Like Moose could challenge for it again. Macklin could challenge for it again. Any of these people can challenge for it again. Even like Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace versus Bully Ray would be fun. It would just be a fun match.
Okay, I gotta admit, that does kind of sound entertaining to me. Big
Yeah.
Mama Pump versus Bully Ray, Cavzilla.
Oh, that sounds like an awesome match to me. And
Fair enough.
if you're gonna give Kazarian at least a belt at all, this would be the way to do it, and then have that swerve where Bully Ray comes out there, cashes in, and takes it off of him just as quickly.
Well, again, this is why you are the Mad General. You're also why you're bold, but you are not at the bottom of this predictions league. So I can admire the optimism, but again, I still go back to keeping it within the Impact realm. I want Frank Kazarian to win, but this is another one of those things that tests Josh Alexander and elevates him. I honestly feel like that Frank Kazarian will never have true resolve until he wins the big one, but I wouldn't call this being his last shot. I do feel like Steve Maclin is overdue a shot, and Steve Maclin right now is already butted heads with Josh Alexander countless times. To my knowledge, Josh Alexander and Steve Maclin are not facing each other one-on-one. That, to me, sounds like the money main event that could happen at Hard to Kill. If I want that to happen at the first Impact Wrestling pay-per-view of 2023 and really build that thing out too, and Impact has a way of literally pushing things out for the long haul, as we've seen, then Josh has to somehow overcome and survive, as much as I hate to say it, the Full Metal Rebel. My heart goes out to Kazarian. Always will. But I believe that Josh Alexander will still be Impact Wrestling's Impact World Champion. So I'm with the majority. And hello to Sebak. Regardless, it's going to be an incredible match. I do feel like there will be respect still before and after the bell, despite the bit of jaw-jacking that not only Josh Alexander Kazarian had, but also Tracy and Jade had as well. And whether or not Tracy and Jade have similar feelings towards each other's families or each other's men after this match too, I do feel like that Josh Alexander still needs to continue his way as Impact World Champion too. So there you go. My final prediction is Josh Alexander. And yes, I'm aware of my guys. I'm getting feed from my headset. Yes, I know. Lincoln 5. But with that being said, folks, again, 80% of you believe that Josh will retain too. 20% believe in Frank Kazarian. And I know that JJ Williams and Jeff Meacham, who are close friends with Frank Kazarian, who's been a huge supporter also of No DQ and a great ally too. They want to see him win. We all want to see Kazarian win, but that's about the heart versus the mind. And when we get into full gear, folks, stay tuned for a lot of that as well. But I'm going with Josh Alexander retains for tonight.
Something else to take into consideration, Violent by Design is nowhere on this card.
And Eric Young right now, we have no idea where his headspace is after losing Sami Callahan's Double Jeopardy looking up at VBD, who did nothing.
You have two faces squaring off in the main event of the last show of the year. If Violent by Design is going to make an impact and make an impact, like attacking both of them at the end of the match, regardless, if Josh Alexander does remain staying strong, just have them attack at the end of the match, and that leads to Eric Young being a forefront for a title shot as well. So that'd be a really cool image for the Overdrive to end on, is Violent by Design, in their new lineup, just standing strong at the end of the night.
Yeah, but again, what's the future for Eric Young? Does the world still belong to him? At the end of the day, we're going to find out tonight who belongs to the top of Impact Wrestling. A great generational talent from the past, or the current Iron Man of now. It's going to be a hell of a match, once again. King, good to see you. My brother, looking forward to chatting with you again very soon. Maybe even tonight during AEW. But folks, that is our simple predictions and preview and outlook towards Impact Wrestling's Overdrive as well. Again, I feel a lot of stuff is going to be settled. I don't know how much is going to change. But once again, Impact Overdrive, it's definitely going to be a memorable night to say the least. And all I got to say is this. Masha for Knockouts Champion. I feel she at least deserves that, and I want to at least see that tonight. Jordan Grace, you are the juggernaut, but it's time to see how far your body can go against Masha round 2. Let's freaking go. And Jerry, always an absolute pleasure, my friend. I know you got to get to work, but I do hope you enjoy the show too, and good luck to you. And again, thank you for all your partnership in this what really has become a new standard for us, and I hope it continues 2023. It's been incredible 2022 with you on this Impact League. Anything you want to play and promote, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Gerald_JSJ and my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR.
Exclamation point. Don't forget it.
Oh, we're always like talking wrestling in there. Not just a specific company either. Like, bring whatever you want. Like, even if you have a wrestling company, go ahead and promote it in there. We're all about hearing, like, the fight at next big talent, and also just talking about wrestling, and that's what it all boils down to after a while.
All right, well, good deal. Well, with that being said, Jerry, I know you got work ahead. I can already see night has fallen for you. I hope you have a blessed evening. Good luck again to you and predictions. Folks, you now have 90 minutes left to get your predictions in for Impact Wrestling. Stay tuned, because within the next couple of minutes, Jerry, again, thank you. But stay tuned, folks, for a fully loaded panel for AEW Full Gear. We'll see you in just a few. Jerry, again, God bless you. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is, of course, one of my great friends in the wrestling community, Jerry of 1,000 Names. That was Jerry Overdrive. I hope he has a wonderful shift at work. Lead by example, as always, my friend. Thank you for your time tonight. Stay tuned, folks, because in about a couple of minutes, I'm going to send a link out to, let's see here, my horsemen of predictions for the NoDQ Galaxy, and we're going to kick this thing into full gear. So stay tuned. Alrighty, 6 o'clock on the dot as I bring in my family of sipping, predicting, predictors, horsemen, and honoraries, and we are ready to dive into part 2 of this double featurette, where we see once again AEW kick it into full gear. So hello once again, everybody. Welcome back to the second part of this presentation as I now bring the family back into the fold too. And there we all are. Chris, James, Jeff, JJ, and Justin. Hello to all of you. Welcome once again to Civic Prediction. We'll go around the room and get everybody's initial thoughts as we now get ready to talk about AEW Full Gear. James, first off, bravo, man. Incredible work with the logo, the presentation, the intro. I love the personality you've added to my channel. You are a brilliant creative mind. Don't ever let anyone tell you differently. How are you, man? How are you looking forward to tomorrow's pay-per-view?
I'm looking forward to it, man. And, you know, I have my reservations. Obviously, everybody has known by this point my stance on, like, modern pro wrestling. But despite everything that Tony Khan's been thrown his way, he's put on a hell of a card for Saturday. So I'm looking forward to it.
Amen to that. And of course, with me, as always, my color commentator for WWE, the host of Open Mic Night, Cassidy 18 Studios' own movie brainchild reviewer, the Renegade, JJ Williams. JJ, how are you tonight, and how are you looking for tomorrow's pay-per-view?
I'm doing good, Noah. I'm glad to be here. You know, you mentioned how you're bringing in the four horsemen, and I'm seeing like there's four J's here in the game. It's like
It's a
There's a lot of J's, so hey,
throw
no
them up,
kidding.
guys. If you
throw
got
them
a
up,
J,
throw 'em up. We
represent.
gotta. The J's gotta stick together.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
Jays can
That's
choose
right.
that.
But I mean, you know, the I'm probably not
Even
gonna
if
be able
even
to
if
actually.
one of the Jays is representing a Boston Celtics being, that's okay.
Hey, I'm Boston too, brother. It's cool.
Okay, how many different type of timelines are we crossing over here? Continue, JJ.
I'm probably not going to be able to get to actually view the show because unfortunately I just don't have the $50 to shell out. But you know damn well that by being here, part of the multiverse of media, I'm going to be producing you and James calling the action. So I'll get to hear you guys doing your masterful call as always, and I'll get to envision the matches in front of me, much like the olden days when wrestling was actually broadcast on the radios.
That's a good point.
You know, you get to close your eyes and just envision the match yourself. So regardless of all that, man, I'm looking forward to this card. Let's just get into this, dude. I'm excited.
Good deal. Justin, it's been a long time, my friend. Welcome back to the platform. How are you, my friend? And how are you looking forward to tomorrow's pay-per-view?
I will be completely honest. The next 2 weekends are going to be very masterful. Not only do we have Full Gear tomorrow, we also have Survivor Series from TD Garden. So I'm looking forward to
4 games.
Yeah, that. But no, mainly what Tony Khan put together for this pay-per-view. It better deliver. I'm just saying that right now.
Again, Tony Khan, he sets the bar way up high, so we will see very soon tomorrow night. Jeff Chadwick, leader, founder, brainchild, creator of the Meltdown Wrestling League. Good to see you again, sir, and one of the original Four Horsemen. Before we continue, shout out, of course, to Wrestling Roundtable. Congratulations on reaching your 50th episode milestone. Congrats to everybody, panelists aside, including me. I was happy to be a part of that one time. Shout out, of course, also to Mark Griffith and Ashley. Happy anniversary. I hope you enjoy your time together tonight. We miss you, and good luck in predictions as well, too, my friends. But, Jeff, how are you, and how are you looking forward to tomorrow's pay-per-view?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to Full Gear. I've been looking forward to this for a couple weeks, more so now than I did a couple weeks ago. Right. So this is going to be insane. That's all I can say. And I do have to mention, who the hell brought him here? How'd you get in here, Justin? It doesn't matter where I go. You follow me.
Hey, I'll also be on the roundtable with you with my partner Joe, so that'll be exciting.
It's funny that you boys have a show called the Roundtable, because I used to run a show called the Pro Wrestling Roundtable too. I don't know if those converged at any point, but I ended that show years ago, so somebody's got to do it.
But here's the thing. But here's the funny story, Jeff. I kind of asked Noah if I could join in tonight.
He did.
I'll let it slide this time.
That video has been on for a while. You all can show some decorum for one video. All right.
I'm good.
Okay, good deal.
Hey,
and last but not least, honorary
he's pretty much my boss of MWL, so I gotta listen to whatever the fuck he has to say.
Oh, well, that's a fair point. I mean, if you don't listen to the boss, you're fired. So there's that. That being said, Chris, you've been here since day one for WWE, for AEW, even Impact to a degree. It's always good to see you, my friend. Also, I hope that your family is doing very well. Again, been praying all the best for your mother. How are you, and how are you looking forward to tomorrow's pay-per-view?
I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. I am getting ready for Full Gear. Is going to be an exciting event tomorrow. I am personing the event tomorrow on Bleacher Report. My excitement level is 8 out of 10 tomorrow, and I just can't wait to get into predictions.
All right. Well, I think that's enough icebreaking. So let me go ahead and bring everybody up to speed when it comes to the All Elite League, as this now marks season 2 of the All Elite League, because it's the second full year of AEW pay-per-views. And thank you to over the 130 plus of you that have participated at least once at some point in this thing. I will definitely repeat this next year, but right now, as far as the first 2 pages that I'm about to show you, it's still very much anybody's game. As right now, Sean Boley and King Kieta, they are tied for first place, followed by my brother Kyle Vieira and Charlene Curia, along with Mario, Lex, Ashley, Greg, Chumbawamba, and I'm not talking about tub thumping. Christopher Roch, we're right there in the tied with 40 points among many others. And I see, of course, my ATW brother King, also honorary horseman Mark, among so many others. Thank you, everybody, for participating. And, of course, JJ and I, we are in a league of our own with no DQ. But doggone it, son, you didn't get something wrong, bro. Son right now leads that, followed by Mikey T, followed by Aaron, then me, and, of course, indie darling freelancer Cindy G. And people, your opinions matter too, whether you are continuing or it's for your first time. Link again is in the description down below. Be a part of the fun. Get your predictions in. I give you literally to the start of the 0 hour tomorrow. With that being said, gentlemen, we got 10 matches known and another one to come to, probably regarding after the events of tonight. And I'm sure they'll book, 2 or 3 others for the 0 hour that we could probably brainstorm about. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So again, folks, this is AEW Full Gear, the last All Elite pay-per-view of 2022, as next month will be dedicated to Ring of Honor Final Battle, which hopefully finally separates Ring of Honor and AEW ecosystems, but we'll talk more about that later. We are here tonight, of course, to discuss AEW Full Gear. Again, it is Saturday, 8 p.m. Standard Time, live on pay-per-view. You can purchase it off the Bleacher Report app here in the States. Internationally wise, I know you can also get it on Fight, and in some countries, you even get it on YouTube. So South Korea, Japan, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, be sure to check it out. And if you have a friend or a bunch of friends, go check it out at your local theaters as well, because they will be in theaters all over the country. Again, AEW, trying to bring the whole world together with professional wrestling. Damn it! But I digress. And for those that don't know, you know by now what that means. And if you don't, well, live and learn.
Jeff
Shout out so far, by the way, to the 24 of you.
Exactly.
Again, I don't market myself. Shout out to all 24 of you so far. Has been putting your predictions, including several, if not everybody, here on this panel. But also Jerry Slaughter, of course, that you just saw. Kyle, Paul, Colin, Mikey, Steve-O, Cindy, James, Jordan Jones, among so many others. All right, guys, let's get right into it. No more delays. Without further ado, we got 10 matches on this card, and as the clock struck midnight, a new match was added. So we're going to start with that because, again, what is the future of the AEW Trios division? And will Pac's suggestion finally sink in to Lucha Brothers? We'll see if fear really does become a factor here, too. I also wonder if something might rise. So we're going to start with this. The AEW Trios Championships are on the line. They're back, folks. The Elite. The Elite. Kenny, by God, Omega. And the former AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, the inaugural AEW Trios Champions. You take that for what you will. They go after the gold against very well-known enemies, the Death Triangle. I'm, of course, talking about Rey Fenix, Penta Estilo Miero, and the Bastard Pac. Alrighty, so this right here is going to be a banger to say the least, and definitely a match of the night candidate. The way I see it is this. When the Trios division was established, we all know at the forefront it was about the Elite. They suggested the damn thing in the first place. Shenanigans aside, following AEW All Out, they had to shift gears. And so Death Triangle had a chance against the Best Friends to become the inaugural champs, and so they have. Even such a defended against them and defended against the Dark Order, and most recently, welcome back from injury, Darius Martin, Dante Martin, and AR Fox, who may be all elite sooner rather than later. But also, we've seen vignettes for another particular trio that had a chance at these titles, and they might rise once again. And they definitely are no strangers to the current champs. So does that come into play? Do we get a clean finish here? Does Pac resolve somehow be the difference maker here? Maybe the deciding factor? Which way does this go? I don't know. So I'm going to let you all start off first. Justin, it's been a long time, so we're going to start with you.
Great. I mean, okay. Oh boy. You know, to be completely honest, I loved how Pac said you've been chasing us for a long time. Well, we've been waiting for you guys. So I think, damn it. I'm gonna be a little off the script here. I think the Elite's gonna take back the titles.
I'm with Justin on this as well. So just count that for me.
So we got 2 so far for the Elite. Let's go ahead and see what JJ thinks about this match. JJ, what are your thoughts? And to help you right now, out of the poll here, including y'all, a majority did suggest the Elite to become once again champs. 83%.
No, I'm gonna put it to you like this: out of all the matches on the card, I think this is the one I'm the least looking forward to.
Interesting thought.
You want to explain why?
I could, but I don't want this to go into an hour and a half episode.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
Bottom line is this: if the Elite are back, Punk should be back.
Amen, brother. Amen.
I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Thank you on that.
I could go into a larger diatribe about that.
Yep.
But I'm just gonna leave it there.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe say that from
I have a
feeling
feeling that the Elite are gonna take it. If I had to bet money in Vegas, I would bet on the Elite. But I don't want them to. I want the Death Triangle to retain. I want the Elite to go all the way to the back of the line and have to scrape and claw and work their way up to another title shot. Not just come back to the company out of suspension and get a title shot and get their belts back.
Unless Punk
but
is
again,
back,
if I have to bet on it, I'm betting on the Elite.
It's kind of hard to bet against those 3, to say the least. Chris, what is your thoughts regarding this?
Well, I'm going to agree with JJ. When the Elite, we all basically knew when they got suspended, their titles got stripped, and Death Triangle became the new trios champion. And
Correct.
The Elite, they never lost those championships in the first place. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm also agreeing with everybody here. I picked on the forum the Elite. And in the predictions, I am going to officially say it. I am going for the Elite to become the new AEW Trios Tag Team Champions. And they are going to be champions once again. And we're going to have to just wait and see how Tony Khan books the Elite this time around after their suspension.
Took it long enough, to say the least. All right, and as far as what you are saying, again, I think this goes one of 2 ways. Pac finally influences the Lucha Bros to do anything possible to keep them, or a shadow of the past prevents the Death Triangle from keeping them. I just can't see the Elite coming in here and just getting the clean win out of nowhere. Something has to happen that is storytelling for Death Triangle's future. It comes down to Pac's resolving attitude or something rising. That's just my opinion. But I do agree with a lot of you. I do think the Elite will regain them somewhere, some form. Jeff, your last on this one. What's your thoughts?
First, I need a drink on this one.
I don't blame you, brother.
Honestly, I got Fireball.
Oh,
gotta have the Fireball.
That's what's up. That's my shot of choice too.
I am
crazy.
I got an issue with the Elite. They have to be first. They got to be up front. They've got to be in the picture of every title in the company. I have an issue with this. And it's just like, I understand they're founding fathers of the company. Fine. I completely get it, but they don't need to be first in line. I think that when they got suspended, they should be at the back of the line. They should have never gotten this opportunity. In fact, I'll say it right now. It should have been Dark Order that has those titles. Bottom line, if you want to keep a trio or a group alive, Dark Order would have been the way to go. But obviously, they want to kill off this group, and it's just this is how they did it. Anyway, flash forward to where we are now. Death Triangle. I think Death Triangle is going to retain. They better retain, because if the Elite get it, I can't guarantee I'll have a TV after that. It's just I do not want to see the Elite with these belts. They should be in the back of the line, and that's that.
Yeah, MT
I'm
Nakazawa.
with you 100%, Jeff.
MT Nakazawa really carrying them around.
I'll add this point before we move on to the next thing. While I agree with everybody, just the Elite again, especially after all the all-out drama in the back. Like, again, regardless of how you feel about Punk, the Elite were wrong in that situation too. Let's just call it spade a spade. Yep. Nobody was a good guy in that situation.
No.
Right.
But at the same time, I think without the Elite being the champions right now, no clear divisions on those trios titles. We have seen that now firsthand in spades, right? Mm-hmm. I think you need to build a foundation, and however you feel about them, you need the Elite to kind of be that foundation. They needed to be that first champions. Now, they're going to be the champions again for the second time, I think, but the only reason being is because they're the best trio going, and they can build up other trios and the entirety of the trios division. And with the Ring of Honor 6-man division kind of mixed in there with the other trios there, they have a pretty good base for the trios belts, but you need to put them on a group of people that casual fans are going to know right off the bat, So right. I get the reasoning, but at the same time, it's like,
James, you basically hit the nail on the head. It's recognition, it's direction. Again, they're the ones that really propose this idea.
I do want to add one thing, and no, I don't mean to cut you off for a second.
No, you're fine.
JJ, you brought up if the Elite are back, so should CM Punk, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, here's my problem with that. I don't think CM Punk should come back to AEW. I got no problem with CM Punk, none. Like I respected him throughout every single wrestling company that he's ever been in. However, my problem is with this: if the Elite and CM Punk are back in the same company at the same time ever again, how do we know that backstage brawl after All Out is never going to happen again?
That's a fair point.
Well, then one of them is going to get blackballed from the fucking industry. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but that's exactly what's going to happen. That's ought to be what happens. Like, I'd be saying the same if it was the Elite. I think both parties should just get over themselves.
Right. So like I said, I have no problem with CM Punk, but as of right now, I don't think the Elite and CM Punk should be in the same arena ever again right now.
For the record, by the way, Justin, your microphone is like really bad. It keeps making you sound like Mr. Roboto. I don't know what's going on. All right, there we go.
Good song. All right. Well, good stance, gentlemen. The bottom line is this: hopefully, after AEW Full Gear, we can once again reestablish long-term direction, development, and storytelling for the trios division. So we'll see what happens. And again, I do wonder if a certain trio will rise. But that remains to be seen. All right, let's move on from there into another match that's all about storytelling. And I think it's about as personal as it gets when you literally think you've been with somebody 3 years in AEW, 10 to 15 years your whole life, and then they betray you. Does Jungle Boy Jack Perry finally get some long overdue revenge and redemption on behalf of his family against Christian Cage and now his newly named Right Hand of Destruction, Luchasaurus? Well, we've seen how much Jungle Boy Jack Perry's life has been a living freaking hell and emotional turmoil. It's also been a physical taxing one, to say the least, as well. As we know, Christian Cage, he literally guided these two during their AEW Tag Team Championship run. But once they lost those titles to the Young Bucks, things kind of fell apart, falling a concerto. And then for the short term, we thought the Luchasaurus was there to be supporting his so-called friend. Wasn't meant to be, as we saw AEW All Out. Jungle Boy faced the ultimate humiliation in front of his family, his mother and his sister at ringside. And that's continued since. But Jungle Boy Jack Perry, he cost Luchasaurus a chance at the AEW All-Atlantic Championship. And so here we are. With Christian Cage always having a plan and stacking the odds against him, Jungle Boy Jack Perry has decided to put all the odds against him for himself, with a steel cage being the factor here. So, again, with Christian Cage, I feel being the ultimate end game here. Can Jungle Boy Jack Perry overcome the first obstacle towards that in the right hand of destruction, Luchasaurus? Yeah, I'm going to start with you.
Real quick, before Jeff goes, I'm just going to give my prediction real quick because I actually have to help my dad with groceries.
Oh, okay.
Jungle Boy Jack Perry is my pick. Jeff, go.
All right, then.
Fair enough. I think
Quick and to the point.
You can't get any quicker than that.
I
That's right.
respect that.
Jungle Boy has been on the, needless to say, shit end of the stick throughout this whole thing.
Right.
And I think this type of match is going to benefit Jungle Boy. Now, he remembers quite well that little choke slam onto the steel grate there not too long, it was a little over a month ago. And he's even said that his back really hasn't been the same since. Well, I think you're going to see a little bit of redemption. Actually, you're going to see a lot of redemption. Jungle Boy, I think, is going to take this. And if I might add this, as far as MWL, we have 83% went with Jungle Boy. And I definitely agree with these guys. I think that he is going to take this match.
And 95% of my pool believe in Jungle Boy Jack Perry as well. I mean, guys, it's a story as old as time itself. The good guy eventually has to get something against the bad guy, or at least his henchman, before finally overcoming the final boss, and that's Christian Cage, but he's not medically cleared. That being said, we see Luchasaurus. He may not be 100% either. He's been wearing that strap and harness to support his shoulders, so could that also be a factor here? Chris, what's your thoughts towards this match?
Well, my thoughts is, this match is going to be good inside a steel cage to keep Christian Cage out of the match.
Cage keeping out Cage.
I was just thinking that.
This is so weird.
It's a Dr. Seuss book waiting to happen.
But overall, I would love to see Jungle Boy Jack Perry win this match and get that good feel moment and finally overcome the odds against his former tag team partner, Luchasaurus. I'm actually agreeing with it. Jungle Boy Jack Perry definitely deserves this win. And I see bright things out of Jungle Boy Jack Perry in 2023. Maybe you go after maybe a TNT championship, or maybe it's time that you have Jungle Boy Jack Perry gets pushed to be a contender for the AEW World Championship.
That's a fair point, considering he has a pillar, and there's one thing we've seen about Jungle Boy. He's definitely had a new stir of emotions that have brought out a more aggressive, determined side of him. And with that newfound level of fearlessness and motivation, he could go very far. But again, can he survive the rage inside the cage at the hand of Luchasaurus? Justin, what is your thoughts?
First of all, this steel cage is not going to keep Christian Cage out.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No, Christian Cage is going to find a way to get inside the steel cage. But
keep Cage out of the cage.
Continue, Justin.
Sorry.
Oh my god! And this is what I get for being a GM of a show.
All right, let's bring it back around, folks. Come on.
I'm just gonna say this. I think Luchasaurus
bot.
Yeah, bot. Jungle Boy gets his revenge because, like Jeff said, his back is not 100% because getting chokeslam on a steel grate a month ago. We should also point out he got chokeslam on a steel chair in Boston last Wednesday night on Dynamite. So
caved on his back.
Yeah. So my final prediction is Jungle Boy wins it, but he's gonna escape the cage.
Oh, escape. Now, it's interesting you say that because, JJ, you may not know AEW history like I do, but there have been 3 steel cage matches in AEW history. 1 women, 2 men. They've all been won inside the confines. They have not used the idea of escape for their steel cage. In fact, they don't even call it as a way to win the match. It literally is there to contain the 2 inside. So with that being said, JJ, what do you see coming out of this match tomorrow night?
Well, I think it's very interesting that, to my recollection, as far as I can do on my research, this is the first time he's being billed as Jungle Boy Jack Perry as far as on the shows. You've heard them mention it in commentary before, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, whatever, but it's the first time he's actually being billed on the graphics as Jack Perry.
That's correct.
I actually went back because I know I had asked the question on the No DQ predictions that you were on, and you guys weren't sure about All Out. I actually went back, looked at the All Out graphic, and it just said Jungle Boy.
Yep, they've only said by Justin Roberts audibly.
So I think that's an interesting factor in this, making it that much more personal of a victory for him. I also think that we're probably going to see something spectacular out of Jack. I'm hearkening back to the 83 steel cage match between Superfly and Morocco.
Oh, Lord.
Again, that savage kind of jungle gimmick with that splash off of the top of the cage.
There is
I would
no
not
room.
be surprised to see Jungle Boy go for something very similar. At the end of the day, though, I still have to go with Jack Perry to take the W in this one.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that AEW All Out, he was absolutely humiliated, and in Toronto on AEW Dynamite in Canada, Luchasaurus got the whip to help the Christian Cage. It literally has been Jungle Boy falls short. Jungle Boy falls short. He's got to get a win eventually, and it's pay-per-view. Come on, we gotta go. I gotta go with Jungle Boy Jack Perry. As James continues to deal with groceries, let's go ahead and move on to listen. No, I'm not doing that. All right. Y'all can do your traditions. Y'all can freestyle all you want, but I think I know where you're going with this, and I am not doing that here tonight.
All I'm going to say is anybody that can get Captain Insano to introduce their music video gets the win for me.
Yes.
Fair point. Then why do I even need to say anything else? As the AEW Tag Team Champions are on the line, the AEW Tag Team Champions, the Acclaim, rising to fame, some top players in the game, take on Swerve in Our Glory. And right now, the actions of Swerve have been similar to a horror story. I really wonder how much this team has left. It feels like they're on more rocky ground than Biden's actions against nation's debt. So that being said, I went there. All right.
Bottom line is this is going to be the self-destruction of Swerve in Our Glory.
I feel that's safe to say. JJ, go ahead and break it down. Your thoughts and your pick towards this match and what happens in the end.
That was it right there. This is going to be the self-destruction of Swerve in Our Glory.
I agree with JJ.
For the victory.
Who else wants to just raise the hand for JJ?
Like I said before James came back.
The Acclaim wins.
Like I said before James came back, anybody that could get Captain Insano to introduce their latest music video is getting the victory. They're not going to have them drop out right after that.
Chris, you going with the Acclaim, Chris?
Chris, you weren't scissoring. I just noticed you look lost.
Well, my thoughts on this one is going to be
good.
Get
weird.
I can't wait. What Big Baller G did on the no DQ thing on Tuesday.
It's gonna become the new level of safe and intercourse.
I was laughing when he said that. I was like, Big Bar G, don't talk what you do outside of the no DQ panel.
He didn't say it was in the bedroom. Just saying. Oh
Yeah,
my
exactly.
God.
That's the problem.
Yeah, no kidding. Jesus.
But
Where the hell do you not scissor? That's a fairly few question waiting to happen, Steve Harvey. Top eight answers on the board.
But my prediction is that the Acclaim will retain the AEW trios not the trios, but the AEW tag team champions.
Oh my God. Sorry.
There's going to be some backlash with Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, and personally, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Keith Lee back in WWE again alongside with his wife, Mia Yim.
What?
That's a bold take, but I think he's probably in for the long haul. Again, as a
Think so
charismatic
too,
giant
brother.
on his own. I see Keith Lee one day contending for the TNT Championship. That's my opinion. But
There's a lot of big guys.
I agree and scissor with the consensus when I say that the Acclaim will retain.
I
But
can get
here's the thing.
Hold on.
What?
I can get my gimmick over now. Okay, am I the only one that sees some reverse discrimination going on from Tony Khan? I see the big guys getting the secondary titles and the small guys getting the world titles. Who's with me? Who's with me?
I will agree.
He's got a point. He's got a point. He's clearly got a
What
point.
the hell's going on here?
Oh my God.
This bizarre world of AEW, it truly is the alternative. That being said, we
James,
all...
before we move on to the next one,
Go ahead.
scissor me, Daddy.
Oh, God, it got weird. It got weird.
Hold on. Oh, scissor me, Daddy. Oh, scissor me, Daddy.
This is so weird out of context.
Am I the only one on this band that's not gonna do it? Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you're an odd duck.
Come on, Justin.
Justin don't even have his safety scissors with him.
That's a clean one. That's a family friendly one. Here's the Steve Harvey of the show.
Oh my God.
This video is not brought to you by your local Office Max, but if you enjoy your mate, watch AEW Full Gear and scissor them. This has been a television announcement. Currently, Simple Man.
If we go down this rabbit hole anymore, Noah's going to be taking shots like he was on Wednesday.
Oh no! Yeah, shots of Mountain Dew out of his shot glass. Yeah.
Actually, it was Willem Russo, but that's a story for a different day because I'm Italian. I don't think scissoring and Italians go together, but let's move on, shall we?
Hey, Louis, he's not gay. He's creative.
he's just cutting it up. That's all he's doing. God. Can we please move on?
Yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, because that's only match 3 out of 10.
Yeah, we'll be good. We're getting there.
Oh, my God. And 96%, by the way, believe that the Acclaim will retain.
I agree.
Lord. Okay. Woo. Well, we go from scissoring to JJ's favorite. And JJ, I'm just going to put up the graphic, and you simply say what you're with.
That bitch, Jade Cargill.
That bitch show, I agree.
But he digress. Jade Cargill, the TBS champion, defends her streak and gold and looks to get the actual strap back from, quote unquote, the TBS champion, Nyla Rose. So what's going on here is clearly mind games. If you can't beat Jade inside the ring to get the title, you beat her mentally. And so far, Nyla Rose has been literally playing hit and run and just keep away with the champion. There's no more running. These two are finally going to go one-on-one. The two alpha females, the beasts of their own kind, the beast and the bitch in AEW, one-on-one for the TBS championship. Again, Chris Statlander was supposed to be the one to break the streak. I still feel like they're going to hold out for that. I'm just going to say that Jade Cargill retains. Now,
I agree.
Anyone else have anything further to add regarding this match story or this title? Or do you believe that Nyla Rose is the beast to break that bitch?
Let's be honest. I think everybody's going with Jade. Right?
I was going to say, it should be no surprise for my open mic night team that I'm going for Jade. I'm a firm supporter of her. Although, I think it would make an interesting twist. If you think about it, 17 years ago this week, we lost Eddie Guerrero. For Vicky Guerrero to lead Nyla Rose down to that ring and have her become champion would be an interesting footnote onto that story.
Yeah, true.
Considering that was just this week that anniversary occurred.
That would be pretty cool. I will say.
So, I mean, my official pick is Jade, but just the fact that anniversary came this week adds an interesting little dynamic potential to this match. Something to think about.
And plus, Jade, all she has is her baddies, and Kiera Hogan and Layla Gray, they're about as fragile as paper, it seems.
And we all know Tony's about honoring the past. I mean, hell, they did the Owen tournament, and they're going to be doing it again next year as well.
Fair.
It's not far off the concept that he could book Nyla to dethrone Jade since she's managed by Vicky Guerrero.
I will say, out of every women's match on this card, this is the one I'm actually looking forward to the most. Even over Saraya and Paige. Like, this match, I'm actually really looking forward to. I call this is Jade Cargill's best match, bell to bell.
Longest match, if nothing else, because he literally is with not only one of the safest workers, but most experienced and powerful that can match her for strength.
Yep.
At this point, I just wonder what sort of Marvel-inspired attire will both these athletes come in with, and will they be enemies?
What if they both come in as She-Hulk?
Jade already did that gimmick. She wouldn't do it again.
Go ahead.
I think Nyla Rose is going to come out with something Guerrero-ish. I think that's what's going to happen. You'll see some sort of design that he used to have on his tights or something. She's going to win.
A little nod.
I'm your Poppy.
You got it. Yeah.
I'm your beast. Native heat. Yeah.
And all she's missing is a lowrider.
That's right.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Chris, what's your thoughts towards this match? Anything further to add?
I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to go with Jade Cargill to retain and stay undefeated. And I'm going to tell you this. I feel in a way when Chris Stylander comes back, she's going to go after that TBS championship. And I feel in a way she's going to be the one to dethrone Jade Cargill for the championship.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. Chris Statlander, future champion. Justin, anything further to add before we move on? So, bottom line,
going with Nyla.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry, Jade.
yeah. Justin's going with Nyla. You're right.
We're all with that.
Sorry, Justin.
Got it. I mean, put words in his mouth. Why don't you? Good grief.
But hey,
I mean, we're the fans.
Someone's gotta.
Someone's gotta. Hey, we already have Scissoring. Don't give AEW any ideas now. They might steal them.
Well, you know what? That's true. They do listen to the fans.
Yeah, they listened so much to the fans that they stole our friend's idea for Swerve in Our Glory.
Eric,
hey.
You're never gonna get your royalties. Get over it. Let's move on, folks, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking forward to this. Triple threat Titanic TNT title turmoil. The TNT Championship is on the line on pay-per-view in a triple threat match that's literally a battle of juggernauts in their own right. Wardlow defends against the Ring of Honor World TV Champion Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs. All I gotta say about this match is let's freaking go. So we all know the story behind this. Powerhouse Hobbs, he's made his intentions be known, literally planting the TNT champion weeks on end with that Last Will Testament spinebuster. But Samoa Joe's been at Wardlow's side as War Joe. And honestly, Samoa Joe, once again, he's a guy always with a plan. He was lurking. And so he made his intentions be known that Powerhouse Hobbs is not your biggest threat. I am. And we saw what happened this past Wednesday when all three got in the ring. Took half the damn locker room to try and split the three. And then Wardlow flew over the top like a freaking cruiserweight heavyweight and wiped out the field. What the hell is this man
that's
made
so
of?
good. I saw that clip on YouTube. I'm like, oh my God, he's doing
The
Taker dives
freaking
now.
clearance of that. Good God.
Oh my
I thought Montez Ford had hops. Get your heart out.
Dante Martin is like, oh.
But Dante Martin needs to
But
springboard
I do
off
the
top
hop.
rope. Okay, Dante Martin needs to springboard off the top rope, to be fair. And Sabak, I completely agree. This match is going to bang and smash and clash. Big, meaty man fest. I can't wait for
Wardlow
this.
wins, but I agree with Savak. Big beefy boys do big beefy boy spots.
Big beefy boys do big beefy boy spots. Okay, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Chris, let's start with you on this one. What's your thoughts on the TNT Championship finally defended on pay-per-view? Does Wardlow retain and beat the odds too?
Who is the majority picking in this match?
64% went with Wardlow, 32% went with Powerhouse Hobbs, barely anybody went with Samoa Joe.
Well, I know in the forum I picked Wardlow. This match is going to be an awesome match to watch. It's going to be insane. I'm actually looking forward to this match. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see Wardlow pick up Samoa Joe for the power bomb. I'm ready to see that happening.
Oh, the power bomb simply we're going to see among these three. Oh, Lord.
I think Wardlow is going to retain here. I would be surprised if they give it to Powerhouse Hobbs. Because
it would definitely be a coming for him, to say the least.
It will be because I know Powerhouse Hobbs got done feuding with Ricky Starks at AEW's All Out pay-per-view. And Powerhouse Hobbs wanted to be a champion. I think overall, he's probably might not be in the finish of the match. It's going to probably be Wardlow and Samoa Joe towards the end of the finish. And that's when Wardlow's going to pick Samoa Joe up and do the power bomb. I'm going to say he's going to do it like 5 to 6 times tomorrow night.
Jesus.
And then knowing later Wardlow's going to retain, and I could see Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs in a feud for the TNT Championship, just one-on-one, and then I do see Powerhouse Hobbs being the one to dethrone Wardlow as TNT Champion.
Whoa, hot take. All right. So right now, again, we all know how triple threats work. You have a buffer, you have a fall guy. To say either of those labels with Powerhouse Hobbs or Samoa Joe, kind of hard in this case because I can see this match going any 3 ways. But again, Ring of Honor Final Battle is next month, guys, and who's on the very front poster? Samoa Joe, Ring of Honor Television Champion, and that title is not on the line here. So with that being said, Jeff, you're next. Your thoughts towards this. Who you got?
In the words of Big E, big meaty men slapping meat. That's right. You're going to see 3 of them. I honestly see it ending like this. Wardlow and Samoa Joe, they've got this big old heat going on right now. That's where this is all going to be about, is between the 2 of them. Meanwhile, Powerhouse Hobbs is over there licking his chops. I've got Powerhouse Hobbs going out as the brand new TNT champion.
Okay.
And thus a new star is established. But Wardlow, Justin, he's been on a hot streak. He's defended this title so far successfully against the likes of Tony Nese, Matt Taven, among others. I don't think he's had a singles loss right now since becoming the TNT champion. But again, it's not a singles match. It is a triple threat. So what's your take?
Chris has Wardlow. Jeff has Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yes.
I also have
How do
Wardlow.
I go?
Got 2
Go with Joe.
Wardlow,
I
got 2
know.
Hobbs.
How about the post for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view? I got Samoa Joe walking out champion.
Well, we know it was Samoa Joe, but it sounded like Joe. It's
Yeah.
I heard Samoa
You sound
Joe.
like
I did too.
Yeah, we'll go with Samoa Joe.
Trap
Yeah,
somebody in a coquina
On
butt
it-
and put him to
so-
sleep.
So Justin, and get off the call, then come back in. That usually takes care of the problem. Noah's had to do this a couple times too.
Yeah, I've become a robot myself in the past. So James can allude to that.
Yes.
All right. JJ, I'm just going to say this right now. Wardlow, Ohio represent, he has been on a hot streak as TNT champion. And it's been a long time since this title's been defended on frickin' pay-per-view. And I feel that right now, Wardlow really needs to showcase this title and represent what it means to be TNT champion. And since he's been champ, a lot of his matches have been what we've been wanting. Open challenge. He's literally tried to put people over, and he's given us Powerbomb symphonies to remember. I kind of want Wardlow to retain, so I'm going with Wardlow here. But where do you stand, JJ?
I think that the mistake Tony Khan made was by making this a triple threat match.
Yeah, Samoa Joe match I did not see coming into play, I'll be honest with you.
You know, I would have left this as Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs, and I would have done the Joe turn at this match and had Joe cost Wardlow the belt to Hobbs. Then at Final Battle, it could be Joe versus Wardlow for the ROH TV title.
Interesting way of
But
putting things.
with it being a triple threat, I just don't see Wardlow losing it.
I feel like Joe has to be in here to protect the idea of Hobbs versus Wardlow one-on-one, because if Hobbs does lose to Wardlow, think about that puts him at the back of the line. So there is that. Okay, let me bring him back in here. Yep. All right, so at this point right now, we're kind of a little bit all over the place. So, but the majority believes that Mr. Mayhem is going to keep the TNT title in his world.
Yes.
Along with the poll here that I see right here. So, good stuff, guys. All right. As we keep moving on down from this card, we're going to see how Saraya turns the page on her past and starts a new chapter in her career in ring in AEW. As, say it with me, Dr. Britt Baker, D-M-D. Don't forget it.
I know, James. Stop shaking your head.
Yeah.
Okay, Dad.
That's a conversation for another day. Son, behave yourself here. Dr. Baker, DMD, goes one-on-one against Saraya.
That's a really good Hank Hill, by the way.
Whoa! That being said...
Holy fuck, I'm caught so off guard by that. No. Go ahead, Noah. Yep.
You're fine, James. You're fine. That being said, Saraya surprised the hell out of all of us at AEW Grand Slam. Now part of All Elite Wrestling, making this place her house with Renee Paquette following shortly after. How coincidental, but how awesome. And we have now seen Dr. DMD challenge in a different way where somebody can outshine her both in ring and on the mic. To the point that last Wednesday's promo by Britt almost felt like she was humbled, but determined. Britt right now has a different motivation, it seems, in this match that I have not seen out of her in a long time. It's almost a level of vulnerability and self-aware confidence. Does she believe that she can beat Saraya? Saraya's words, do they reign true? Again, is she an ungrateful bitch that has an ego way too big for her youth so far in AEW? Again, 3 years. Saraya's been doing this her whole life. And again, what Saraya has really have done at the risk of her own well-being for this industry and her own health, respect. So the way I see it is this. Something changes in the dynamic without a breaker DMD going forward in AEW, regardless of this match, I feel like. But Saraya, in-ring return, how do you have her lose but still protected, even with probably the safest rehearsed worker in the AEW Women's Division? I think about Britt's future direction. She does need to be involved in a title picture. I don't see this being as a one-off. Simply put, I think that Saraya humbles Britt and remind her what it means to be a superstar and figure herself out. I don't think these people are done with each other by a long shot. JJ, what do you got?
I think it goes without saying that Saraya is going to take this. They're not going to hype up her first match back in 5 years and have her job to Britt. As much as Britt is beloved by pretty much everybody that watches AEW except for James over here.
Different story, folks.
They're just not going to do it. If anybody disagrees with me, feel free to say something about it. But I think if everyone's in agreement about Saraya, we can go to the next match, bro.
Yeah, because plus we're running short on time. Justin, your quick thoughts. Saraya, yes or no?
Hey, you're fine. Go ahead. All right.
Big yes.
Just nodding.
You can talk. I'm pretty sure it's good, bro. I'm pretty sure
at this point, he doesn't want to risk sounding like robot. Either way,
ahead. Try it. It's okay. Say hey.
State your case.
Come on, Bender.
I think you're good. I think you're good. We would have heard it by now, bro.
Yeah.
After your laugh,
Yeah.
you're good. You're good.
Bender.
All right, so everybody's in agreement then. Even you,
Yeah,
Chris.
at this point, the only thing yes.
My thoughts is this is going to be an exciting match.
That's true.
And personally, my prediction is Saraya for the win. I am
Okay,
going for
I was going to shock
Saraya.
us here in a moment.
I was about to say, what the hell?
And I can't wait for Saraya to finally shut up Dr. Britt Baker once and for all.
She's already done that twice.
And Dr. Britt Baker can finally lose for once, because this is Saraya's house now. Ain't Dr. Britt Baker's house anymore, because your house wasn't built with you in it.
No, she was just one of the owners and the realtor that sold the place to a degree with Tony Khan. But I understand what you mean. All right.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, well, let's go. And speaking of going, Jeff, you're first on this because you personally asked for it. As we wonder, how does the Ocho keep Ring of Honor's legacy entertaining? Or will the Blackpool Combat Club once again restore what it means to be Ring of Honor champion? And that is being the best professional wrestler. Damn it.
Yep.
And then you have Sammy. As the Ring of Honor World Championship is on the line, the Ocho, Chris Jericho, defends the gold against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara. So that being said, Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli are former Ring of Honor World Champions. Of course, Chris Jericho took the Ring of Honor World Championship against Claudio Castagnoli back at AEW Grand Slam Rampage, and has made it his mission statement to destroy and eradicate the legacy of Ring of Honor stood for 20 years and make it his own way entertaining at the expense of Ian Riccaboni, Bobby Cruz. That's just cruel, dude. And so far being the likes of Bandito, Bryan Danielson, and even Claudio Castagnoli again, and also the flamboyant Dalton Castle. You got to consider whoever wins this is going to main event the Ring of Honor Final Battle pay-per-view, and I keep saying that the Ring of Honor Final Battle pay-per-view has to establish the groundwork for Ring of Honor to separate from AEW. So that being said, does this match mean that we have our face of Ring of Honor, or will that be determined at Final Battle? Either way, I'm going to keep it simple. I know Jeff wanted to go first, but I'm just going to have Jeff eat this for thought. Jeff, I have the Ocho escaping with the gold at the expense of Sammy. But what's your take?
Well, my take is this. Just because he's in the match, don't count him out. I personally think that something is going to happen where you're going to see a little bit of tension. You're going to see a lot of tension, because I think that we're going to have a new Ring of Honor champion. I don't believe it's going to be Chris Jericho.
No,
El Ocho that goes into this final. I personally think it's going to be Sammy Guevara.
Wow.
I have a gut feeling, and this is going to start something between the two of them, which we've seen before, and I absolutely love their feuds that they had. I think I've got a gut feeling that Sammy Guevara is going to go out as the new champion and be the face of Ring of Honor going into their first pay-per-view.
Oh, boy.
Believe it or not, you're not alone. 12% picked Sammy, 12% picked Bryan Danielson, 72% the Ocho, the rest picked Claudio. Claudio did get the pinfall win, Chris, on Chris Jericho, submission, even holding the bat on his shoulder. Right now, Claudio's been able to one-up Chris Jericho. It seems all momentum is in favor of Claudio Castagnoli. Blackpool Combat Club, they were on the same page as a tag team, but again, it's for the Ring of Honor Championship. They are forged and trialed in combat. Maybe Bryan and Claudio take advantage, remove the other two, and go one-on-one at it. And honestly, I would love to see that one-on-one match in AEW. Can you imagine with those two actually wrestling? That being said, Chris, who do you got?
Oh, this is going to be a fun Fatal 4-Way match. I want to congratulate Chris Jericho, a.k.a. The Bride.
That's right. He was on Masked Singer.
On the Masked Singer. He did a fantastic job. I know he came up short, but hey, he was there having a good time.
That's
just
entertainment,
being
folks.
himself and just being being a sports entertainer. And you know where I'm going with this. I'm actually gonna say that Chris Jericho will retain the ROH championship. And he is gonna go into the final battle pay-per-view as champion. And then hopefully down the road in 2023, we're going to see Ring of Honor get their weekly television show. And Chris Jericho is going to be the face of Ring of Honor.
All right, fair enough. And folks, we will be, of course, once we're done here, moving over to Castle 80 Studios and the Jeff Major Multiverse of Media to prepare to discuss and watch Overdrive. Together, stay tuned for more on that. And JJ will give his thoughts on this match and more ahead at the Full Gear pre-show, also on Castle 80 Studios, Multiverse of Media, Jeff Meacham Network. Come tomorrow, too. All right, so let's keep rolling here. James, you said your course career, Chris Leo's is going to retain, so I don't think anything further needs to be said about you. Justin, here's my last bit of thought. Does Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia come into play here on either Blackpool Combat Club's behalf or Jeremy Society 2? Outside forces come into play, being failed four-way, maybe Floyd the baseball bat again. Paul Turner, the official. Ari Edwards, the official. What's your take?
No, I don't think any of them come into play because here's what I'm thinking. Christian retains, and at Final Battle in December, Wheeler Yuta will challenge Chris Jericho, and that's where Chris Jericho, I think, will lose the Ring of Honor World Championship.
All right, fair enough. So everyone right now agrees with the Ocho except for Jeff, who almost gave James an aneurysm. Yes, I know, James, Jeff, JJ, Jaka.
A lot of J's. It's okay.
Too many J's. Too many J's. That's a parody waiting to happen. That's a sitcom waiting to happen right there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, let's go ahead and move on from here where, again, my mind says one thing, but my heart says another, because if those people don't know me by now, I met her live, and for life, I'm a hater. As Toni Storm defends the AEW...
You can't
she
say
is
it.
not interim champion. God damn it!
Exactly.
I guess. AEW Women's World Championship. Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champion, defends the gold against Jamie Hayter, and I only got 3 words for this. Let's fucking go. Japanese strong style personified. What's interesting here is these two have only had one match so far in AEW. That was during the opening of the Owen. Toni Storm got the win. Match only went 7 minutes. They have not met each other one-on-one since, not even before then. However, these two are no strangers to being champions, but Jamie Hayter's been untested as a champion. When Toni Storm was involved in World of Stardom, holding the Stardom World Association Championship, she held it for 15 defenses. Jamie Hayter was champion during the pandemic. Didn't even get a chance to defend the gold. Jamie Hayter has all the potential to lead this division as champion. We support her. Haters are always going to hate. We also are going to appreciate. But again, this black cloud of an I word is freaking holding the women's division back. Point blank simple. And I feel like right now that something needs to change in the dynamic of Britt and Jamie before Jamie truly goes on her own to be at the top of this division. As much as it pains me, especially with the agenda still in play, Tony, you bloody damn fool, logging out way too damn long. I want Jamie to freaking win, but God, interim just tells me that Toni Storm has not been respected enough as the AEW Women's World Champion. And damn sure deserves to be with the amount of defenses she's had and the weekly matches she's brought in tag and singles, showcasing this championship too. She has been a predominant champion, the likes of Hikaru Shida, if not better, and she beat her. Toni Storm deserves the respect as AEW Women's World Champion. So until this interim moniker is removed, I don't see Toni Storm losing this title. And I still see Toni Storm, you can tell she's pissed off by the way of this too, holding that chip proverbially and physically on her shoulder. I have Toni Storm retaining. James, what do you got?
All right, here's a food for thought for y'all, because this is a way they can book themselves out of this situation. What if Toni Storm is going to win? What if she wins by aligning herself with Britt Baker and turning on Hayter? And they both turn on Hayter.
bold, very bold. Jamie Hayter going on her own, being literally the rebel that tries to break the entire Britt Baker empire.
And there is the key there. Remember, Tony was supposed to turn heel before Thunder Rosa got hurt. Clear as day that was the direction they were going in. This is the way they can go about that and have Tony turn, and she can align herself with Britt Baker. The idea being, she breaks the teeth, Dr. Britt Baker fixes them, if you want to go fucking cheesy with it. I don't know. But accomplishes two things. Accomplishes two things. The World Championship is predominantly featured again, even if you have to feature freaking Britt Baker's character with it. And number two, Britt Baker's not the actual champion, so win-win-win, right?
I mean, I could definitely see some envy right there if Britt loses to Saraya and wonders if Jamie succeeds. Does that mean that Britt, once again, is an afterthought, it seems? Britt, again, brought Jamie in as friend insurance policy, but she was always at the top. She was the focal point. There's been no debate lately, though, that Jamie Hayter has been garnering more of a fan-based reaction and reception, especially if she's tagged in the tag team matches, than Britt. So I do think you're onto something, but I think your booking might be a little bit bold for even Tony Khan to undertake.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, that's true. And by the way, this is how much this match is split among everybody. 44% believe Jamie Hayter should be champion. The majority, but a small gap between 56% believe that Tony Storm should still be champ. And again, as long as the interim word is still a thing, this title in this division will not truly be established. And neither Tony or Jamie, if she wins, I feel will be respected as champion. And damn sure should be. Chris, your thoughts on this match?
Well, my thoughts is going to be good between these two. Yeah, my heart does go for Jamie Hayter because the fans have been loving Jamie Hayter. She's been on fire these past couple of weeks, couple of months, and I personally believe that Jamie Hayter is going to turn on Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and get out of the Dr. Britt Baker rebel thing and have Jamie Hayter be as a baby face and potentially feud with Dr. Britt Baker. I feel that's going to be the feud that's going to be taking off after Dr. Britt Baker and Saraya gets done with each other. So my overall prediction is I'm going to say Tony Storm is going to retain. This one she'll definitely retain the AEW interim women's world champion. And I'm going to tell you this, when Thunder Rosa gets back from injury, we know we're going to get a unification match between Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm. I would not want this match to happen on a random AEW show because I don't want that to happen. No. I feel the best way to book it is have Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm fight to become the AEW Women's World Champion at AEW Revolution. I think Revolution will be the best spot to do this match. And personally, if they want to add a stipulation to it, I would say bring on a ladder match.
Well, I guess that's a rare thing that hasn't happened yet for the women. But as far as the show placing, New Year's Smash 2023, the interim word should be no more. It honestly should be no more after tomorrow night. And rumor has it, Tony Khan is aware of the suspension of disbelief with this idea of the interim championship and how prolonged it has been. And yes, I understand having a sense of patience. But damn it, you're an athlete. You can't defend the title in 30 days. Too bad, so sad. This is the risk you take in the industry. It's been over daggone 90. But I digress. Mm-hmm. Justin, do you have any further thoughts? So far, everyone is with Tony retaining, but we want Jamie to win. Are you bold enough to say that Jamie becomes the new champ? I know, cringe. I know.
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
gotta get the point.
Nope.
Gotta get the point. Got to get the point. All right. Well, Jeff, we talk about the idea of the aftermath here. Do we get Jamie versus Britt? Does Jamie somehow literally become a rebel on her own? Does Tony Storm go heel courtesy of Jamie's booking? What's your thoughts and takeaways towards this match? And how do you see this affecting Jamie Hayter going forward, particularly?
Well, first of all, I can't stand this interim crap. It just, I can't. It just, I agree. If you can't defend it within.
I may not be monetized, but I'm going to try and keep it civil, all right? I've already ranted about this for the last 4 weeks.
I know.
But I digress.
Yep. Title should not even be on Thunder Rosa. But anyway, I think that, for so long, we have stated time and time again, wrestling fans out there have stated time and time again, Jamie Hayter needs to be champion.
Yep.
I mean, she is, I'm sorry, but she is, in my opinion, higher than Toni Storm. Don't get me wrong. Toni Storm's a great athlete. I love her work in the ring. But Hayter is the one that belt needs to be on. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. Not yet, anyway. Now, maybe, and I will agree with what's been said about how she needs to part ways with Britt Baker. So I can see that actually happening because I think somehow, some way, Britt Baker is going to get involved in this match and cost Hayter. And this is where you'll see Hayter finally get away from Baker. So I think that once she's away from Baker, that, it's going to be a shoo-in at this point, that she is going to be champion. But as far as Full Gear, it's going to be Storm taking the win on this one.
Yeah, again, I'm just looking forward to a great Japanese strong style singles match. Jamie Hayter, 1 year ago, she was only on the buy-in. Now she's on the main card by herself, challenging for the AEW Women's World Championship. That is growth, respect, and progress that the fan base definitely sees, and all of us to a degree too. Again, Hayter's going to hate, and we're damn sure going to appreciate. Jamie Hayter's the future champion, but right now, until the championship is truly identified as the championship, not her time. I say Tony time continues too. But again, drop the interim nonsense, damn it!
I agree.
But I digress. All right. Well, now that we got spend my days working hard on the sorry, what were we talking about? Oh, right. There's a tag match.
I'm gonna just say.
Can we just say that Sting never loses on pay-per-view and move on?
Yeah, Sting and Darby win. Let's fucking move on.
Sting and Jeff Jarrett, are you freaking kidding me?
And Chris, you agree with this? Let's just keep it short. Sting and Darby.
I'm going for Sting and Darby. And you know what? Let me add to this. Okay,
go ahead.
I would have disconnected you.
Sting and Darby is going to win here. And I know you guys forgot to mention about this on the No DQ panel on Tuesday.
Yeah.
With Sting and Jeff Jarrett. They took on each other at TNA's Bound for Glory in 2006 for the NWA Championship. You forgot about that,
Right.
and I read on the comment about that, and
that's fair.
Do you know who won the match? Sting and Jeff Jarrett?
Sting.
It was Sting.
All right. So they're going to relive that moment. They're going to relive it, but overall, Sting and Darby Allin for the win.
Yeah.
All right.
Agreed.
There you go. And Jeff Jarrett will not be with his baby that night. He will be with Jay Lethal.
Good one.
Oh,
all right.
I'm gonna fuck Darby tonight.
Unless Lethal is his baby.
Well, I mean, it was his baby since TNA, I guess. According to Sanjay Dutt, who I thought was going to have an aneurysm with the promo and confidence hype he was trying to put over with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Talking about he is the smartest man in the freaking business. He's one of the billion. He is one of the grandest wrestlers. Jeff Jarrett, one of the best in the industry.
Hey, listen. It's because Jay Lethal is a part of his world.
Yeah, I got that theme. How they get that theme, I'll never know. Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, again, folks, we've had fun. Again, let your predictions be known. Form his description down below. Like, subscribe, comment, tell friends. Stay tuned for coverage of this tomorrow night. But guys, it is time for our main event that very well could define the future of AEW. As Jon Moxley defends the AEW World Championship against Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF.
I will go first on this because I'm going to be going on the other stream that is going live currently on your channel right now, as well as Cassidy 18 and the Jeff Meacham Network.
Then go ahead, my friend.
It has to be MJF. I think they would be foolish not to go with it after all they've done to build him up, regardless if he's face, heel, tweener, whatever. He could be the freaking local dairyman for all I give a shit. Give him the damn belt. Just give him the belt. It's long overdue at this point, and he's already been screwed around with enough with that drama at All Out. It is significantly, and by the way, I called it months ago that the ratings were going to go down because of this all-out drama, and it wasn't going to stick. Guess who was right yet again? MJF got fucked. Ultimately got fucked in the ratings. So I think if nothing else, you give him some bone here. Give him the belt. Hopefully the other guys can sort their shit out. But regardless of what happens, MJF needs to win here, and Moxley needs to go on his goddamn vacation. That said, you guys could check us out, Noah and I, but Noah will be hosting this for a little bit longer. We will be doing live coverage of Impact Overdrive tonight, so go check that out. And until then, I will see y'all on the other stream on this channel, as well as the other two channels. Take it easy, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you as always, James Hebert.
So,
Definitely brings a lot to
Noah,
the
can
table.
is it okay if I go next, just in case my device sounds like I'm a robot again?
Yeah, that's fine because it already is doing that. But Justin, go ahead and give us your takeaways for the main event.
So my takeaway from this main event is it's about damn time that Maxwell Jacob Freeman gets exactly what he deserves, and that is winning the damn championship that's been idolizing him since he ever got to this damn business. And Moxley, I love you to death, but god damn it, just go away and go on vacation for like a couple of months, please.
He certainly deserves it, and I definitely respect that take. And before I give it over to Chris here, 96%, not unanimous, 96% picked MJF. So that tells me that one person at 4% picked Jon Moxley. Again, Chris, Jon Moxley is the company guy, but I said on video, MJF has to be the professional wrestler of this generation of the industry. So with that being said, Chris, who leads with the gold?
Well, this is going to be a fun, entertaining match. I have a prediction within a prediction.
Oh,
so my prediction here is MJF finally becomes the AEW World Champion because his name is Maxwell Jacob Freeman. He's better than you, and you know it. But I have a bold prediction for Full Gear on how this is going to end. If I don't win this prediction league, I don't care. I'm having a good time. Overall, I'm worried about Survivor Series War Games, NXT Deadline, and I can finally open up the package at the Royal Rumble when I finally get that no DQ shirt at the very end. But
no.
Here we go. We'll see.
But my bold prediction is Full Gear is going to end with MJF aligning himself with William Regal. Because here's the thing. I saw the brass knuckles on Wednesday.
Regal. Yeah.
He was about ready to use it. I think he's going to use it tomorrow night when he turns on Jon Moxley, and he's going to align himself with MJF tomorrow night at Full Gear, and that is how you end Full Gear 2022.
And you endorse the future of AEW. Again, we saw Jeff, literally MJF tell a story how William Regal not only encouraged him, nearly broke him. And at this point, all Regal was asking is that, can you sell me? Can you sell to me? You still have a lot to prove. But every instance since, we've seen Regal alongside Jon Moxley and MJF show up too. The firm might have dragged down that closing segment on Dynamite. There's no doubt about that. But they're almost an X factor at this point. But Regal betraying the Blackpool Combat Club, Bryan Danielson, and crew to align himself with MJF. And is MJF and the firm still in cahoots? Is there honor among thieves? Is there trust and respect among villains? What's your takeaways, Jeff? How does Full Gear end with MJF still becoming the new AEW World Champion too?
Yeah, I first of all, I picked MJF to win it. It's about freaking time. The guy had a belt around his waist. I don't think that he's going to align himself with anybody. I personally don't, because I mean, he's having his issues with the firm. Obviously, they were kicking the crap out of him, and I don't see, with the storyline that we know, dating way back when he was, trying out via video for WWE, I don't see him aligning with Regal. I think that he's going to be pretty much a one-man, thing here. I don't see him aligning himself with anybody. But I will be in agreement that MJF will walk out new champion. I think it's well deserved and about freaking time. And this match, I got one word that sums it up. Ermagerd! This is going to be insane. This is going to be an insane match, something I've been waiting for a while. And you're going to see at least, and I'm predicting this right now, at least 25 minutes. I don't think it's not going to be a quick match. It's not going to be, I don't think it will,
I
be
push
like
for
under
20 minutes at least.
At least. But if you want a really, really good title match, especially one that that represents the company in itself, such as the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, I can see it easily going 25. And Moxley's done it before. He's gone 25. MJF, he's gone 25 before. We've seen it. So with the two of them and the two combustible elements that you have that are Moxley and MJF, it could easily hit the 25-minute mark. But I definitely have MJF walking out your brand new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And might I add, did Chris get a haircut? I've been noticing this throughout the whole show. Chris, you got a haircut, didn't you?
Well,
let
me add something.
It looked good.
I got two things. Jeff, yes, I did get a haircut. I got a haircut on Tuesday before Thanksgiving on this coming Thursday. And second of all, you brought up about the time. You said about maybe 25 minutes. I know tomorrow night they're going to be cutting down a lot of video packages. So Tony Khan definitely promised, hoping he cross our fingers that he finally keeps his promise that tomorrow night's AEW Full Gear pay-per-view is going to end at a reasonable time tomorrow.
Reasonable time? You mean before midnight?
Quarter of one.
I was say that's a hot take. That's a bold promise by Tony Khan, considering how much he lets professional wrestling breathe and showcase at these pay-per-views. Just saying.
And another note: if you watched online the video after the show went off the air, MJF was doing his spiel in the ring, brought Tony Khan down, and had nothing but good things to say about Tony. And I think that this is Tony's realizing that this is the guy that needs to be carrying this torch. So Moxley is going to be passing that torch to MJF, and a well-deserved one too.
Again, John Moxley says, "I'm a teacher. I
Yeah.
want you to prove yourself. Show me what
Yeah.
you have deep down inside you, because everything you've done at this point has been easy. The real work will begin when you finally become AEW World Champion. You just
Yeah.
first have to beat me.
Right.
And then hopefully John Moxley can truly get that vacation he deserves, because long overdue for this man, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he's going into Full Gear on Sunday, or that's what he said, Sunday, and then he corrected himself.
Botch! Saturday, yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh, he got hit in the head,
So,
okay?
no, he
got hit
doesn't
in the
even
head.
know what day it is. So, if he wants to win Sunday,
Oh,
fine,
Lord.
but MJF will have the title at that point.
Yeah, I suppose
I'm
that's
just gonna say this: if it was Sunday, oh boy,
Yeah.
we're
I've had
That'll be
enough
good.
of Sunday wrestling pay-per-views
Yes.
for one lifetime.
yeah, but
I'm okay
if
with
it was Sunday, oh boy, my managers at work the next day, they'd be like, "What the hell did you watch?" It's like, "Oh, I stay until like 2 o'clock in the morning watching AEW. Thank you so much."
Yeah.
Well, that's what it means to be a committed fan of professional wrestling, damn it.
Yep.
Especially if you're a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan and Stardom fan like me. So, again, I'm crazy. Justin, you're just kind of crazy. So, respect. But that being said, gentlemen, great stuff. And everybody who's watched this live on demand, that concludes this entire noon card for AEW Full Gear pay-per-view. Again, guys, we got AEW Rampage Full Gear tonight and the countdown. We know that we'll have matches booked for the 0 hour, and at least one of them will be Brian. What a freaking botch booking, by the way, too. Brian Cage versus either Absolute Breaker Starks or Lance Archer. And then the winner of that, I guess, is going to face each other in the finals some point, I guess, on Dynamite. Instead of
That's
no,
gonna
no,
be-
no,
yeah.
that match is taking place tomorrow night at Full Gear.
Oh, that's already
And
on the 0 hour, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the winner of that match will go to Winter is Coming to
It's
face.
even more of a
either-
botch. That
Yeah.
gummit. Well, again, though, going back to what you said earlier, if he's going to try and end this show at a reasonable time, you leave one match off. But Ricky Starks, man, come on. Treat the man right. Seriously. This guy's got absolute, pun intended, star quality. Come on.
Pun
Where's
intended.
the respect? Seriously.
Ashley, wait a minute. There was a change. Tonight we're gonna get Ricky Starks and Lance Archer. Ricky Starks gonna definitely beat Lance Archer no matter
Yeah, I feel
what.
like that
And
happened.
then on the 0 hour, the Brian Cage versus gonna be Ricky Starks. Ricky
Which will be
Starks
the
is gonna
finals.
beat.
Yes.
It's gonna beat. It'll be the finals. No, it will. No, it's actually gonna
No,
be the
that- that-
semis
that-
Yeah.
because
Oh, that's right.
the
This is
finals because the finals are going to take place this Wednesday on AEW, where Ethan Page is going to take on Ricky Starks, and then the winner on Wednesday's AEW Dynamite is going to take on MJF for the AEW World Championship
It's gotta
at
be
Winter
Ricky
is
Starks.
Coming.
It's gotta
Yeah.
be Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
The promo and the star power there. Ricky Starks finally shining in the main event. A huge first test for him to
Mhm.
establish him. It has to be Ricky Starks that wins this
Yeah.
thing for me. No disrespect to all ego Ethan Page, trained veteran of the game, highly underrated, still lost in the shuffle of feels like an AEW ecosystem. But Ricky Starks, absolutely, this should be his time. And Lance Archer's time with Minoru Suzuki in Japan, literally on November 22nd in the friggin' World Tag League. He's busy. Seriously, Lance, quit beating up Ricky Starks. He personally treated me and said, I only maimed him. Because again, everybody dies. But seriously, Lance, come on now. Ricky Starks, the guy came back from injury. Let him try and succeed on his own merit. Good grief. Well, anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Gentlemen, great job again. Everybody, let your predictions, your thoughts, your opinions be known. We hope you enjoyed this entire double feature forum, too. That's all we got to say to all of you. Before we conclude, let's go ahead and plug and promote content and encourage others to. Chris, again, always a pleasure. Good luck tonight, as I literally will be shifting over to Jeff Meacham Network. And, of course, tomorrow night, too. Anything you want to plug and promote, and where can people find you?
Well, it's been a pleasure being on the panel tonight. Where you guys can find me at is my Instagram, CMROTZ_6472. My Snapchat is C_Rot17. My Facebook is Christopher Rots. My Twitter, hopefully Twitter don't end up going down, and
Lord.
we can
The
all
end.
keep our Twitter. we can all keep our Twitter accounts. My Twitter is uppercase CR lowercase OTC24. The next time you'll be seeing me is right back here next week when we're going to be all back together, where we're going to be doing Survivor Series War Games.
The second to last event in the WWE League this year. That is correct.
That is going to be next week. We're going to talk among ourselves when we're going to probably do the predictions video. And then after that, next month, will be Ring of Honor's Final Battle and NXT Deadline. I can't wait. On Friday, December 9th, I'll be going to go see WWE Friday Night SmackDown in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm getting ready for Pittsburgh on December 9th for SmackDown. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your night tonight. And I hope you guys have a safe and blessed Thanksgiving on Thursday. I hope you guys, if you're traveling, get to your destination safely. We'll be praying and we'll be thinking of you to get to your Thanksgiving dinners safely. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll be back here next week for Survivor Series War Games.
So
unless you live in Buffalo and your chicken shits to play in Buffalo.
I'm indifferent, non-factor. I don't watch sports. I only watch pro wrestling. So don't look at me, folks. That came from Justin. The opinions of one person does not reflect the panel. I repeat, the opinions of one person does not reflect the panel. But thank you for that, Justin. I had to put it out there wearing the Boston hat. That being said, Chris, again, man, God bless you and your family. Thank you as always. Good luck to you. Enjoy the weekend and happy Thanksgiving in advance to you and your family. Justin, it was great to have you back on the forum, and I look forward to next time we do this. But anything you want to plug, where can people find you?
I'm sorry. I had to.
I know. I wouldn't expect anything less from you. Damn it. In your return.
Well, besides helping out Jeff and Sean run MWL for season 4, which, by the way, Noah, you're doing a great job, and Chris, I gotta say you're doing a good job. But come on, nobody compares to Jeff Chadwick, who's the MWL Tag Team Champions right now.
He's just trying to keep his job.
I mean, hey, you freaking glorify the boss. That's one way of doing it. Corey Graves knows how to do that very well.
Yeah.
Other things I do gotta plug is I got a sports page that I run very well. It's Forever Boston Sports. We're going on to 5 years, and the reason why I bring that up is because the guy sitting right next to Noah is actually on that show March 9th. Yeah, Jeff, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Nice.
So we got a 5-year show coming up. The guests are JFB, Gary Joe, and Jeff Chadwick. And February 12th, I know I'm bringing up sports again, but you guys can find me in Boston on February 12th at the Celtics game. And Noah, I will as far as next weekend goes, I probably won't be around for the Survivor Series preview because I probably want to spend some like a couple of time with my family.
Yeah, you'll be coming from a food coma. I don't blame you.
However, you can definitely count me in the next time you guys do an AEW pay-per-view prediction.
I guess we'll see you for Revolution and the start of the league in 2023. I'll definitely
yes, you will. Yep.
Because again, you see below, there's only a few discussions left to go for 2022. And again, Justin, a pleasure. God bless you. Good luck to you. Jeff, again, man, we're on the right horseman. Shout out, of course, to Chris, who, of course, keeps always us in balance. And Mark, again, happy anniversary to you and Ashley. I hope you all enjoyed your night. And Ashley, don't overthink. You'd be surprised how incredible you do in these things. Just have fun between tomorrow and tonight. Yep. But Jeff, anything you want to promote, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Meltdown on Facebook, Meltdown 316. There's the logo. I like it black and green. That's awesome. You can also find, but yes, you can also find us over on Twitter. God forbid it stays up. Meltdown 316 over there. And I am. We're going into week 6, Justin, of the
week 6.
MWL.
Yes, because week 6. Yes, because week 7 you put your career on the line.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do. My career is on the line, as well as our tag titles. So, but you definitely find all of us are part of the MWL League. So we'll always look for new people. If you want to join in for some predictions, join us over there. And one last thing. Keep Cage out of the cage. Thank you very much.
Good grief. Coming to a Barnes & Noble bookstore near you by Dr. Seuss. God rest his soul.
And if you got complaints on Justin, here's his address. Justin Marcincini, P.O. Box. No, just kidding.
I'll mute you. I will mute you.
That was awesome.
Good
Noah, happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Chris. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Justin. And everybody, eat well and stay safe.
You're so lucky I'm not gonna bring this up on the round table.
You know, he just threatened you that he's probably going to do that now. I'm just saying. But
No
gentlemen, again, absolute pleasure. Great job to all of you, and God bless all you too. And people, you want to know more about me, know this. I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, yeah. Professional wrestling! Damn it! But I digress. Find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and in Foster1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out, of course, the entire AEW family on Twitter, at least for right now until it shuts down. Stay tuned again for more Simply Predicted discussions. You saw the banner playing across here. We, of course, have WWE Survivor Series War Games. And then we conclude the year in December with a double feature of Ring of Honor Final Battle and NXT Deadline, and that will finish out all the Simply Predicted panels for the year 2022. And then we kick 2023 off with a bang, initially for me, with the spectacle of them all in the sport professional wrestling, Wrestle Kingdom 17. I cannot wait. Headlined by Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada challenging Switchblade Jay White at the Antonio Inoki Memorial Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and so much more to come too. And stay tuned for a simple take regarding that. There'll be a triple feature simple take after all three shows this weekend conclude, including the Stardom and NWW crossover special. Stay tuned for that some point Sunday in the afternoon. But as always, I conclude, there are no winners, no losers, no betters. They're just fans with opinions, with this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, and treasure your families, especially because it's the holidays. And just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's as simple as that, damn it. With that being said, thank you so much again for tuning in, whether you just watch this right now or you watch this on demand. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell as the video goes live on demand on this channel, and hit the subscribe button. Help me keep growing this fun little YouTube community. Shout out to all 255 of this fun YouTube creation is not labeled anytime soon. And I will now be shifting gears over to Jeff Meacham, Diversive Media, to bring you play-by-play coverage and commentary for Impact Wrestling's Overdrive. And then I'll be going to the lovely Cindy G's Twitch community at Chanel to live watch along AEW Rampage and the Countdown, and maybe some more Full Gear discussion too. So until next time, for all the horsemen, the ones that aren't even here, again, Mark and Ashley, happy anniversary to both of you. For Jeff Chadwick, for JJ, for James Keeper, for Christopher Ross, for Justin, for Dr. Bradley Campbell, Farm D. You got to get back on here at some point, brother, eventually. And for, of course, Jared with 1,000 names that joined me for Impact. I thank you all for tuning in. So until next time, make a positive impact in life and have a good night. And happy Thanksgiving to you all in advance, and enjoy everything that comes this weekend in the name of professional wrestling. Damn it! But I digress.
Oh.